Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to August.
What the hell?
August 1st. Sorry, the audio was screwed. It happened to us on the Hangout yesterday, and I fixed it, so I don't know how the hell it broke within the last 24 hours, unless my computer reset without me knowing it. That could have been a thing. But yeah, we're here in August, so which is wild. Yeah, but here we are, August 1st. Let's go ahead and hit the intro and dive on in. I will warn y'all, it's going to be a very Carrie-filled episode. Because as we speculated right before the last right in the last episode, last roundtable, we speculated that they might be showing up at Comic-Con. That was in the odds and ends that it was confirmed that Matthew Lillard is going to be at Comic-Con. And we were like, is that Carrie related? And then, a few days after,
he's got so many things, though. That's the thing is he's got his finger in a lot of pots right now. So
he does. So let's go ahead and hit the intro and get started.
The Dark Tower by Stephen King. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Go then. There are other worlds than these. Death, but not for you, gunslinger. It's time we had our own palaver, I think, and it's going to take a while.
And yet, dauntless, the slug horn to my lips I set, and blew. Child Roland to the Dark Tower came.
We are content, one from many. Let the palaver begin.
All right, hello and welcome to Dark Tower Palaver. This is our podcast covering Stephen King's magnum opus, the Dark Tower series, as well as the extended Stephen King universe, because, of course,
all things serve the beam.
Serve the beam and serve the tower, of course, and serve Randall Flagg.
No.
No. I mean, I've been introduced to Flagg here, but I've not had enough of him yet in the stand. I haven't gotten to any really, really heavy Flagg chapters, which is very sad. So
that's a good thing.
It is going slow though. There's been so much fucking shit to going on, listening to and shit.
Summer's a busy time for us.
Yeah, there's
it's just got worse yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into the intro stuff real quick. First of all, I want to warn you about spoilers. If this is, I'm sorry, this is a roundtable, so we will spoil anything freely of the Dark Tower series. So if you've not finished the 7 primary books of the Dark Tower series, this is probably not a safe episode for you. And if you want to, listen to some of our content without worrying about spoilers, you can go to our book club episodes. With those ones, we stay where we're at or before we don't jump ahead, except for the spoiler section at the very end of each episode, and we warn you about that. So that's your safe place, and that's what we've always designed with with this podcast is one place you're safe, one place you're not, and here you're not. Sometimes we've even spoiled things before the intro even. So we've been known to do that. So next up, if you want to find us, you can find us on Apple Podcasting. You can stream us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, or any podcasting service of your choice out there. If you want to subscribe, rate, and review us on any of those, we'd appreciate that. And then if you want to join us live here at youtube.com/darktowerpalaver, we go live every fortnight, every other week. We go live for this month we actually have 3 episodes.
We will.
Yeah. So because of the way it all falls out, we get 3 episodes, which means that we have 2, after this we'll have 2 more book clubs,
which means just more Wolves of the Column.
Wolves of the Column. I almost said Wizard in Glass, but
force of habit.
Yeah,
we did it for 3.5 years.
Yeah, it's very, very habitual. So
it's forgiven.
Yeah, so we've had our intro to the Wolves, but now 2 episodes the rest of this month to now go and meet the quartet, which we've yet to meet.
Yeah, they haven't shown up yet. Yeah,
we noticed that during the book club. It's our first book that we didn't start with Roland and or the quartet in some way. So very strange. I've never ever once in my life considered that while reading this. It's one of those things in the book clubs, and you're actually locked in on it. You just start noticing things that have always been there, but sometimes they slip by you. But yeah, over here on the YouTube side, if you want to subscribe, or ring the bell for notifications, if we ever have to change our schedules or whatever, the notifications will help you on that. And of course, liking and subscribing, we have to ask for that. Otherwise, we get lightning teeth from Blaine.
Yes.
North Central Positive.
We don't like that.
Come right out through our microphones and get us right in the teeth.
I'm going to lean back. You're going to have to listen. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Blaine.
I will throw it out there. you know this, but the rest of the content doesn't know it. I am moving sometime this month, so there is a possibility that we might shift an episode here or there, depending on which weekend it is for me to move. That's why it's important to ring the bell for notifications on YouTube and be aware that we might be moving up a week, we might be moving back a week. It happens in the summer, so
yeah, there's always movement in the summers, it seems like.
Yeah.
And then of course, you also could be with us live in the chat, be part of the conversation. You always throw up your Ermot emojis in the chat.
No, we're in Wolves of the Colin. No more Ermot. Ermot's dead and gone and dust and worthless anyway.
Ermot is eternal, sir.
No, he's not.
And next up is if you want to find the show notes, you can do that at darktowerpalaver.com. For all the things we're going to cover in this episode, I'll have links to everything we cover here. And so you can go over there and check all the links full on, because we kind of recap whatever article we're talking about. But if you want to read them in their entirety, you can do that over there. You can also find that is kind of the hub for all things Dark Tower Palaver. So you can find just links to everything that you need to find for Dark Towers should be over there. Then if you want to contact us, Peter can let you know the ways to do that.
Best way is through email. It's show@darktowerpalaver.com. And then you can find us on our social medias. We got Threads and Instagram. It's Dark Tower Palaver, all one word, no spaces. Our Blue Sky account is at darktowerpalaver.bsky.social. We have a Twitter account. It's at darktowerpod. That's at darktowerpod. And then facebook.com/darktowerpalaver is where we're at on there. And then tpublic.com/user/darktowerpalaver gets you a hashtag Tad is terrible sticker.
You know what, they had
t-shirt.
they had another sale.
You forgot?
Totally.
You
I
forgot?
actually went and got like 3 or 4 things in my cart, but I think I was debating on or maybe I got 3 things in my cart. I was debating on a 4th thing, because it's not just Dark Tower, but I was looking at some other nerdy shit,
Yeah.
prepping for the upcoming, festivities. I don't have a Doom shirt in my collection, so
That's going to get fixed before December. That's for sure. After that trailer.
all hail Doom. He's the man. I love
First
Mr.
it
Doom.
was Thanos, now it's Doom, then it'll be Galactus, then it'll be so and so. It's just all the bad guys. You just like bad guys, Tad.
No, I like Magneto.
That's a bad guy. Yes.
He's the hero. So yeah, but then I ended up, like, I was debating on what other shirt I wanted, and then it got completely distracted, and then I remembered like 2 days later, well after the sale was over, and I was like, God damn it. So I'm just gonna leave it in my cart and wait for the next sale, and then I'll just pull up and figure out that last shirt, click it, and
There you
send.
go.
So but I am I got my old Quartet 19 Randall Flag shirt, and gotta love that. Good old Randall Flag. He's a good man, that Flag. I do want to throw this out real quick. I didn't necessarily have this on the normal rundown, but I did get an email. I think we may have talked about the fact that that they started up a King convention back in 24, I believe, down in Vegas. We weren't able to go, but they actually just sent an email to us, just kind of maybe asking if they wanted to maybe have someone on to like help promote it or whatever. But I'll read what they sent me though, because they've announced the one for this year. It's going to be at the Tropicana Hotel and Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey, on between this October 22nd and 24th. King Con is going to be held every 2 years, celebrating King, his books, his artwork, his limited editions, film, television adaptations, and all things King. The inaugural event was held in Las Vegas in 24. This year it'll be on the East Coast, bringing fans from all over the world for Stephen King together. Among other guests are artists, authors, TV and movie personalities, collectors, joining us on panels to talk about their work on King book adaptations and how King has influenced their careers. We'll also have vendors selling all manner of King-related goods, from books to limited editions to artwork and King-inspired creations. Additionally, we'll be screening the largest collection of Dollar Baby movies so far, with over 40 movies being screened during the event. Also in attendance will be some of the people who created the Dollar Babies, and attendees will have the opportunity to not only watch them, but to join the discussion with some of the creators. So yeah, I just figured I'd read that out. I'll reach out to them and see if they wanted to come on for an interview and give us more information and stuff. So my calendar this year is already pretty full with stuff. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make this one, but especially if they pop back to the further west as well. I've never actually been that far. I was thinking about that. I was looking at something. I think Nebraska is the furthest east I've gone north. Like I've gone down to Florida, and then Mexico and stuff. But like,
so Florida's the farthest east you've gone.
But that's way down south though. It's like in terms of like that upper region of like the Midwest. I guess I've been into Green Bay, but like up into like the north, like New England and that whole, like I've never been anywhere within sniffing distance of like that entire region of the country. So because I was looking at something for work and it was up in Massachusetts, I think. And I thought about that, and I might still be going to that sometime next year. But I was like, oh yeah, guess I've never been up to that region of the country. And of course, Maine's been on our list as well. That'd be good to go up there and get the old Stephen King. Tour
for sure.
through.
Take the tour. The what is there, like 2 or 3 different tours depending on what city you're in.
Yeah,
because Bangor represents one, and then there's another city that represents another one. I can like one is Castle Rock, one is Derry.
Yeah, Bangor is Derry.
Bangor is Derry.
For
okay,
sure. Got the standpipe and all kinds of
that's
of
what
fun
it is.
stuff. So
I always mix those up. I know there's another one also that's like actual like. It's like King's hometown or something like that, something where he lived, and I know
that's Bangor too.
I know he also lived in Bangor as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
it's like there's multiple King locales throughout Maine.
Yeah,
But no, that would be fun to go to.
yeah, no, for sure. If it's just one of those things where it's like, I my calendar's too full this year, and if it would have been like in Vegas,
Yeah.
maybe because like you could easily just drive down there in 6 hours type thing,
Yeah,
like,
we're driving distance to Vegas, so
yeah. So, but versus New Jersey, that's a whole different ordeal. So,
that's a.
but yeah,
let's take a flight to Jersey.
yeah.
Also, Jersey.
Yeah, and Atlantic
Jersey.
City, I've always heard a lot about that because that's kind of like the Vegas-ish thing for the East
The
Coast,
East,
right?
yeah.
So casinos and all that kind of stuff. So, let's jump on over then to the Flanagan corner. I think the first thing, I'll pull it up on the thing here, but we're ultimately going to be talking about the trailer. It was released at San Diego Comic-Con for Carrie, which was, like I said, I think I said it right before we went on live for the podcast, so the folks on the YouTube side heard this, but we speculated in the odds and ends section, because it mentioned in the odds and ends last roundtable a month ago, we mentioned that it was confirmed that Matthew Lillard would be at Comic-Con, and I kind of like, I filled in the gap a little bit where I'm like, could that be for Carrie? Because, I mean, he's got a number of different things he's involved in right now, so it may not have been for that. So I think I was actually being somewhat hopeful, but I don't know if I even necessarily full-on believed it, because, like, I don't know. Like, it would maybe make sense, but, like, I don't know. He's involved in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. He's back in the Scream franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a thought.
He's in something else coming up too, isn't he? Oh, he was just in Daredevil. That's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, Daredevil. You know, one thing that hit me very recently, and yeah, maybe he was going there to announce maybe a spin-off show with he and Bullseye. That would have been cool. One thing hit me recently.
It's not out of the question, you know.
Yeah, one thing that hit me recently about old Matthew Lillard. I was laying in bed, and suddenly a lightning bolt hit me.
Okay.
What about Matthew Lillard for the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street?
As Freddy? Oh, yeah.
Because for the longest, I mean, I hated the stupid reboot they did previously, because it's just like, that's Robert Englund's role. And I know this is a huge tangent right now, but
I mean, that's what we do.
But ultimately, like, it's Robert Englund's role, and it's so hard because it is actually him, right? It's not just a masked character. Like, it's him, it's his personality. And it hit me while I was in bed, because I was like, dude, Matthew Lillard, could he not embody that role perfectly? And like, he would have the humor, he would have like the sadist element to it, but also he's got so much goodwill with the horror community. I think the horror community actually would rally around that. So
I think so too.
Hollywood, get on that.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen because they already got 2 Nightmare on Elm Streets in production.
Yeah, one's the reboot.
Yeah, and then there's some stupid thing. So I saw it on a reel today. Apparently the international rights belong to Warner Brothers, but the reboot rights belong domestically to Paramount. So now they're in a race to who can get out of Nightmare on Elm Street first. So they're going to have 2 different movies by 2 different studios coming out, one international, one domestic here in the U.S.
Whoever gets Lillard wins the game.
Wins.
But, yeah, so what do you think about the trailer? I sent it in our Discord for the Patreon stuff. And of course, hopefully everyone's seen it already. I'll have it in the show notes for sure if you haven't yet.
Yeah, let's also throw out there spoilers for Carrie. If you haven't read Carrie, if you haven't watched Carrie, spoilers.
I think I can't remember if I said it before or after the intro. So maybe the YouTube people heard this, but the podcast people, this is a very Carrie heavy episode because there was a lot's been gone over about Carrie at San Diego Comic-Con. So the trailer is the first bit of it here, but so yeah, I mean, we're talking about King's very first novel, of course, the thing that put him on the map.
One of my favorites.
As I was getting ready, and I know we talked about it months and months ago about like I think it's probably unquestioned that Pennywise is the most iconic King thing, but I'd have to say if I'm challenging Pennywise, I think I'm putting Carrie against it. Just in terms of cinema, like it's one of the most iconic movies of all time.
I think
and like the pig's blood, just everything about it. It's been spoofed, it's been referenced. Like it is just so ingrained in pop culture that it's like I feel like people may not even know what Carrie is, but they know that image of like the girl covered in blood on the you know what I mean? So it's just like I feel like, and I'm not even saying it beats Pennywise. I'm just saying if you're gonna have an argument, and I'm gonna pick my best horse to go against that and I think with Pennywise a big part of it too is it's the vision. It's a visual, right? It's a clown. Like that's iconic. That it's like
I think that if you put the Mount Rushmore of most iconic pop culture characters from Stephen King, it's 1A, 1B, Carrie, and Pennywise. I think you're onto something with that one.
And again, because the image of the blood, the girl covered in blood is just that's almost as striking as a clown in the sense of like you don't forget that, and that's just an image that like you see, like you'll see it when you have those like things that when the movie theater's starting, they show like clips from 100 movies. Like all they have to show is one frame of her covered in blood screaming. You know immediately what movie that is. Like you need one or two frames. That's it. Like it's that quick. So.
And I think it's the same thing with another Stephen King adaptation as well. If we're talking adaptations, I think Jack Torrance sticking his face in the door. Here's Johnny. I think that the cover of The Shining for the longest time. I think that is number 3. And then if we're talking number 4, I go one of two ways. I gotta go with either a cat with glowing eyes for Pet Sematary or Cujo.
Yeah.
I think those two, maybe after Salem's Lot, maybe the Nosferatu vampire.
Yeah, we actually just revisited, or no, I revisited. You watched for the first time the original Tobe Hooper,
1979,
and I think that might actually be it because that's pretty much in a lot of ways redefined.
You're
vampires.
telling me how infamous it is, and like the scene with like the vampires at the windows and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that would be your 4, and I think I'm with you. I think it's hard pressed to say which one's more recognizable because I think Pennywise is now because of the new movies.
Yeah.
But Carrie for the longest time, and this is holding for, we're talking 50 years now, almost. It is 50 years, isn't it?
For Carrie?
Yeah. The movie?
Yeah.
76, right?
Yeah.
So it's 50 years for Carrie.
It's 50th anniversary.
Holy shit.
Dark Horse, Andy in the Rain from Shawshank.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty iconic, too. I mean, probably
Green Mile, too. Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah,
that's pretty iconic as well. But the thing is, like, I would say Andy in the Rain. Yes, people are like, yeah, I know that. What movie's it from? Well, I have no idea. What's that character's name? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it would be if you asked people, it would be way more proportioned that people would know. Oh yeah, that's Carrie White.
Yeah,
that's Carrie.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on the trailer then? Just watching here now. Let's actually pause first. Where did we stand when this got announced? Because I remember there was some kind of hemming and hawing from both of us. Like now, I think there was. Like,
I mean, obviously, we want Dark Tower.
We do.
That's the big thing to take away is that when we gripe with this, is that there's a bias in us that we want the Dark Tower, not this, not The Exorcist, not The Mist. I want the Dark Tower. I want Flanagan to do the Dark Tower. I want him to do it so badly. But still, I've had a realization that it's like with King. Everything from here on out is precious that I get from him. And I pray to God that Flanagan doesn't stop doing King.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to stop griping about what Flanagan's doing, and I'm going to take every fucking thing that he adapts from King and hold it dearly because I may not get more. This might be it. If he might do Carrie and The Mist and then just decide, you know what, I need to move on to other things, and that's it. And Flanagan's so good that I need to cherish it.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of like had like a 180 on it because it's just like, God, give me the Dark Tower. That's all I want. But
yeah, I certainly had my like reservations, but I think it was a little bit kind of 50-50 where it's like, do we really need another Carrie adaptation? But I think the big part of me that stayed positive on the outside of that conversation was this is Flanagan.
Yeah.
And like Flanagan certainly has a vision, he has a dream, and ultimately when has he steered us wrong?
Yeah.
For Flanagan. So from my perspective, as it now, The Mist, on the other hand, there was almost no positives when that one was like a few weeks later.
It's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's also hard with this one. The only thing with Carrie that has it has really going for it when you look at it, because the thing is like I saw this online. Why are you trying to remake perfection? That first Carrie movie is perfect. It is.
Yeah.
In every aspect, it's perfect. Sissy Spacek's performance, Margaret White's performance.
Yeah.
The actress who played Margaret White, the teacher, Sue, Chris, all of them were so good.
Yeah.
So why are you trying to remake perfection? And I think that's the same thing with The Mist. Why remake perfection? It goes hand in hand for both of these properties.
Yeah.
The only thing, and I do like this for Carrie, this is my first thing I'm going to say about the trailer. The first thing I like about this, and we got this in a little bit in the remake in 2013.
13, yeah.
I like the social media aspect. I like
Yeah.
the phones. I like the modern.
And 2013 was so early in social media. I don't even think Facebook or MySpace is in like 2008, 9, whatever it was. But it's like
it wasn't everyone has
like
one. Like
2013-ish or so was right around the time Facebook really either came out or was starting to hit it big. So it's like
Yeah.
I just don't think it was as pervasive in culture in 2013. They were just on the cusp of it, whereas now we're so deeply ingrained in it that it's like, I don't know. You've got all kinds of crazy stuff in the chat. Agamorphy mentioned Jack Torrance from your list there. Chris from Australia also says Andy in the rain or Danny on his trike. I would also say because Danny on the trike and then the twins is
That's
pretty
a good
iconic.
one too.
Yeah, I thought that earlier as well. I just forgot to say it. So
Agamorphy says he won't quit. I know. But I'm a worst case scenario kind of guy. I know that Flanagan won't quit, but if he does, God forbid, also something happens to the man. That has happened to us. I mean, we lost Frank from being able to record the Dark Tower series. So it does happen, and I don't.
And he's seemingly getting pretty popular right now too. So it's like,
I don't want to be the negative Nelly all the time as well. It's like I have some reservations about this Carrie. And the same thing with The Mist, but at the same time, it's Flanagan doing King. Like, hook it to my veins.
Yeah.
Like,
and Agamorphy did say that it's the first place he knew King from was Carrie. Scared me for decades. So
it is literally the first book I ever read in one night.
And that's the thing, is it's the first book and it's also the first movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like in 74 and then 76. Like you're talking about, this is the big bang for King, period. Whether you're talking books or whether you're talking cinematic, like that's it is what it is. So now of course I think that where we laid finished off with the last conversation, as we kind of like had some reservations but were mostly positive, was there was a lot of stuff that was left on the table from every adaptation so far.
Yeah.
Not everything's been touched. So all right, so now let's full on dive into the trailer. I just wanted to make sure to set the table from where we left off, because we had a pretty extensive conversation when this was announced. So what do you think of the trailer now? Actually seeing some of it, seeing some, seeing it in action, hearing some dialogue, seeing the characters in play. Like, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I really wonder if we saw any dialogue. I genuinely wonder that, because I don't know who Carrie would be talking to if it was dialogue. I can't imagine Carrie White giving a speech to someone.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that was a voiceover specifically for the trailer.
Could be.
I'm curious about that.
Now,
this is my negative thoughts about the trailer. I'm going to get them out of the way first so we can discuss them. I'm curious about that because honestly, I'm a little worried they're making Carrie too confident. This is not Carrie White. Carrie White is so timid that who's she giving a speech to? Who's she? And so that's where I wonder if this is not directed at someone.
I will just tell you, there's more to come after we get done with this. I wanted to discuss this first, because then after this, we literally have a torrential downpour of things that came out of Comic-Con beyond the trailer. and we're going to know a lot more in the next couple hours about what we're getting here, and some of what you just said there might be spoken to.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious about that, and that was I watched the trailer with my wife. I finished the trailer. She looked at me and she goes, "You don't look happy." And I go, I have concerns. I have concerns. I'm still trusting Flanagan. I'm still going to watch this the second it comes out. As soon as I have time, I'm going to watch it.
October 6th, I think is what it is.
Yep.
And
then 7th, wasn't it?
And they don't really they didn't really say whether it was going to be like a dump, because like Amazon's very
they're wishy-washy.
Yeah, it really depends on what it is. Like sometimes they just binge dump, and then other times it's let's see, 6th and 7th is like a Tuesday, Wednesday. So maybe is it the 9th? I actually
It's
don't.
the 7th.
Is it the 7th? So it's a Wednesday.
They're dropping. It looks like all of them on 8 episodes on October 7th is what it says according to IMDb. Season 1, episode 1, Wednesday, October 7th. Season 1, episode 8, Wednesday, October 7th.
Yeah, but IMDb is fan
So
edited,
we'll see.
We'll see. They could just be taken, because I know some of their stuff is weekly.
Yeah.
And with a Prestige thing, they've now, because remember, we also covered that Flanagan's been re-signed by Amazon.
Yes.
This is their first fruits of that deal. They signed back in, 22, was it? 22, 23? So this is the first.
It's nuts that we haven't had anything.
From Amazon, of course. He's done stuff, it's just not for Amazon. So, but they've renewed it now, so it's like maybe they see that this is a big ticket item and maybe they do make it weekly, although that would be a first for Flanagan. All of his stuff has always been binge model on Netflix. So, yeah. So Ag Murphy says not a speech. It's someone, I think it's a measured rant.
Yeah,
So,
which is curious, because there is definitely a I could have been your friend.
Yeah.
And everything.
It's definitely towards Chris, right?
It feels like it's towards Chris and her group of friends, the ones that yell at her, "Plug it up," in the shower, in the locker room, and everything like that.
Yeah.
And the way that they're doing it with like you tried to make me think that I was your friend is definitely a unique twist that wasn't there in the first one.
Yeah.
They had no desire to be Carrie White's friend in the first one, and in the book.
Yeah.
I should say. So it's a little bit of a change. I don't hate it. I don't hate that part. I don't hate anything about this.
Yeah.
I am I'm curious about how he's going to handle this, because literally the two things that I have is, one, I can't see Carrie giving a speech to anyone. Like prom, she couldn't give a speech as an acceptance there and then make that speech to the general populace. I can't see Carrie doing that.
Yeah.
And then two, it does seem like she is way more confident than the Carrie I know from the book and from the movie.
Yeah. And we could
going to a party.
Yeah, and we definitely and this, I want to have these conversations here, because then as we'll get some reveals as the episode goes, because like I said, there's a number of interviews with Flanagan, with publications and with like whatever at Comic-Con, and also because like ultimately this is the beginning of the blitz for the marketing for this, right? So it's like there's some Entertainment Weekly articles, there's on and on. So we'll learn more as we go here. So
it's a big reveal. It's a lot came out.
The Chris actor,
she looks good.
I mean, my God.
Yeah.
Tell me she doesn't have the most punchable face you've seen. She just looks like just the perfect bitch to for that role. Like that shot of her with the volleyball where Carrie misses it, and that look on her face, she's like, bitch, calm down. Yeah.
All right, it's volleyball in gym class. Like, you're not winning a gold medal in the Olympics here or anything. Like, calm down. Yeah, I did feel that with her.
Yeah, I will say Carrie looks quite young, but then again, kids look way younger now than they did back in the day. So
it's always a thing too. Is like, I wasn't that small when I was their age. You look back at it, oh shit, I was smaller.
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So, I love it. I think that it looks great for sure. Of course, like I'm a little bit more biased. That's why I almost wanted to pull stuff out of your head a little bit, because I've just spent a number of hours prepping this episode, and like so I already
you have a lot more info.
I've got way more context. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, of course, I'm super excited for it. I think we were being told it was October. I am somewhat surprised it's early October. We knew that before.
Initially it was September, because when we planned our hangouts, we planned for the Patreon, we had Carrie Reed scheduled for September. We actually called an audible yesterday on our hangout. We're switching it to October. So Carrie Reed will be coming out the 9th of October. That's our hangout there, which is 2 days after the premiere.
Yeah.
And or the entire season dropping.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, 100%. So, I'm so that surprised me because, like, like I think the last episode or so that we talked about, they mentioned it'd be coming out in October.
Yeah,
but I've expected end of the month. I expect to get it closer to Halloween would have been my suspicion. So dropping it in early October.
I think it's smart, honestly, to release it early October. Like if someone came to me and said, "Hey, we got an 8-part Carrie series. We're going to release it in October. Should we put it close to Halloween? Should we put it in mid-October, or should we put it at the beginning?" I would say put it at the beginning. You're starting off spooky season, right? You got the Carrie story. It's a horror story. Let's do it at the beginning, because in the middle and the end, you get a ton of horror films that come out. And also that's when people start going to do corn mazes. They start going to haunted houses. They start doing other activities, carve pumpkins and stuff like that. Do it early when they don't have anything to do, because it's still, weeks before Halloween.
Yeah.
And you give people time to watch it. And if it is weekly,
it'll end the day before Thanksgiving.
Unless they do 2 episodes a week.
If it's one per week. Now, I mean, maybe they would do a 2-episode premiere, but they are generally shows don't do multiple episodes throughout the entire drop.
Sure.
So, but yeah, so
but
maybe so if let's just say they drop 2 episodes, and then after that was weekly, then it would end on the 18th of November. Is where it would end.
If they do 2 episodes a week, they would end on the 28th of October.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that.
I don't either. But it's crazier things have happened, right?
Yeah, I think we'll get more information as time goes. Will be my suspicion as we get closer to it, right?
Yeah.
Come September, so we'll probably get some sort of announcement. In fact, during the course of my stuff, I remember seeing a headline about something saying, "Yes, it's been confirmed. This is a weekly show, like on some other some show." So it's like, and it's something that's coming out a little bit closer, and it's just like, yeah, because like a lot of times now you just set the date out, and then you're just going to allow audiences to like ask that question, and then as you get closer, I mean, maybe they don't even know yet.
Hey,
to be honest,
because press is good press.
Because what did they did Fallout too, right? Is Fallout weekly? Because that's a big ticket show.
Yes,
it's week. Because I know like those final number of seasons of The Boys, they moved it to weekly because that kind of pissed me off a little bit because I liked binging the show. So,
I am pretty sure that Fallout is weekly. I'm checking right now.
I'm sure Lord of the Rings is, because that's a big ticket item too. They've spent nearly $1 billion on that.
Season 2 all at once.
Oh, really?
I was wrong.
So maybe it will be all one.
Maybe no, that's season 1. Let's check season 2. Season 2 was weekly, so it looks like they might be transitioning more to the weekly stuff for their popular shows. So
yeah. So yeah, that's that. I guess that's the overall gist on the trailer. If you have any other comments,
I got a couple more.
Okay, go ahead.
I had my reservations. I got those out of the way. Now for the stuff that I loved.
Yeah.
It looks amazing, top to bottom. It looks like what I would expect. You already hit it. Sue looks punchable.
Oh,
not
God.
Sue. Chris.
Yeah.
Chris looks punchable. But my favorite shot. Dude, that transition from her walking to her in her prom dress covered in blood, that's the only hint of the blood that we really get.
Yeah.
And then the other shot, my favorite shot in the whole thing. Damn, dude, showing the town burning.
Yeah.
You want to know what that did right there? That was put in there for fans like me.
Yeah.
That was put in there for fans like me who want to see the destruction that Carrie White wrought on this town.
Yeah.
Because in the original movie with Sissy, they only burned, like, it's only the high school, like, they contain it. But the thing is like, in the book, man, she destroys the entire freaking town.
Yeah.
It's like, I think one time I looked it up just to be like, from what it describes in the book, how much of the town burned, and it's like 60 to 70% of the town was burned.
Yeah.
Flat, gone. Not kind of burned, not damaged. No, flat, gone.
Yeah.
Like, she blows up the gas station. She sets fire to strip malls and houses and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, people die. Not just the high school kids. And that's where it gets really bad when you look at Carrie White, because it's like the entire town basically dies.
Yeah.
Because of her. So, seeing the whole town burning has me really hyped.
Yeah. Agreed.
Did you catch the scene right towards the end of the trailer? They're doing kind of like flashes. There's almost like a protest riot going on with a bunch of kids
out front of the school.
And then there's a shot, it looks like going into the gym that's burning, and you see all the kids standing there, and then all of a sudden, whew, they just drop like they were sniped or something. curious about that.
Yeah.
Curious about that, what that is.
Yeah.
And then my last note here, they focused very heavily on the kids. No Matthew Lillard. No.
Did he not show up in the trailer at all?
Not at all.
There's an image of him that we'll see as we go through this episode.
He's not in the trailer at all. Neither is the gym teacher. Neither is Carrie's White, except for one shot of her trying to get into her door, and she shuts the door. And locks
Margaret,
it.
you mean?
Yeah, Margaret. Sorry.
Yeah.
Into Carrie's door, into her room. Like Carrie goes into her room, shuts the door, and you see Margaret like kind of going. But really, aside from that, there's not adults anywhere in this trailer that I noticed.
Yeah.
And I watched it again just before coming over here, so it's just kind of like, okay, are we focusing more? Because there's a lot of focus on the adults.
Yeah.
Margaret, the principal, the gym teacher,
and with 8 hours,
that.
in theory, 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're hour-long episodes, which I'm sure
Right.
they'll be close to it. We got 8 episodes. We're talking 8 hours here. This is something that's never been done except for as movies. This has always been a feature film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I think to your point, it's like we've got to extend into some of these other characters because the story. It's not like Salem's Lot, which it's fresh in both of our minds because we just watched the Toby Hooper thing, but it's like Salem's Lot's not a long book, but it is a dense fucking book. There's a lot going on in that goddamn book. Carrie, not so much. It is a pretty straight and narrow book. Like it's a movie. It's a book that I don't think any filmmaker worth their salt wouldn't pick that up, read it, and go, I can easily make this into a 90-minute or maybe 2-hour movie. Like it's easy peasy, right? Because it is a very straightforward. I mean, of course, there's a lot of stuff that most people leave off the out of it.
Yeah,
but there's definitely we're getting a lot here. This is going to be 8 hours in theory, 8 hours long, right?
And I think that Agamorphy says the only negative that I have seen from my circles is that they still couldn't get a book look-alike Carrie, like not book accurate Carrie.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't think that will ever happen.
No, it won't.
Because how do you find someone who's a little chubby, who's a little bit? I don't want to say ugly. It's not ugly. She's not
homely.
She's not also taking care of herself.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sake, she doesn't know what her period is. You think she knows what like facial cream and makeup and stuff like that are?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that I don't think you're ever going to find that being an actress in Hollywood kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to go out to a mall and find someone and be like, her. Let's train her how to be an actress. Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna get that.
No.
And I think that's where it gets a little bit unrealistic. It's like it's the same thing I see when people piss and moan in Reddits. Like I hopped on after going and seeing the Odyssey with you, and I was just seeing people like, God, can't they ever give any of these people bad teeth? I'm like, do you know how hard that would be to give everyone in the movie bad teeth because they didn't have proper dental hygiene back then?
And what do you think that is? 5% of the people actually give a fuck about that?
Yeah, it's such a small percentage. It's along those lines.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I would love to see a book accurate Carrie.
But it's also like Harold.
But
they've not made him fat in either of the versions now. So
because it's hard.
Yeah.
You don't really find a lot of fat actors. They're all good-looking, fit people. Like,
well, also
that's what the beautiful people make movies. Like, I hate to bring it to you, but
Harold,
there's a lot more Brad Pitts than there is Peters in the pantheon of Hollywood.
And Harold loses a bunch of weight too, so that ended up making it hard.
Oh yeah,
like, I thought about that as I've been reading it. Where I'm like, honestly, do you just get a Vincent D'Onofrio type that will actually gain the weight, and you literally film all of his scenes backwards? You film all of his later stuff first,
and
then he puts on 40-50 pounds,
or you just put him in a fat suit.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only other one.
But yeah, again, tangents. Forgive my tangent. I don't know when I'll remember this, if at all. One thing I locked onto, I'm not sure I've ever noticed, or not, I guess I've noticed, but I don't think I've given it credit for. And do not take this as me defending Harold. But Harold's 15.
Yeah.
Let's consider how shitty of a person he is. He's only 15. Like, in the sense of, like, teenagers are pretty fucking dense and pretty, like, not well-rounded mentally, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, for all the like shit people give him and stuff, I'm like, I think I've never really locked it, because again, most of the movies have always portrayed him a little bit older too, so it's just like, I don't know, and it's like, God, like, teenagers are shitty people, generally speaking.
It is
like,
something to remember that he is 15, going through the apocalypse, going through the worst mass death in human history and everything
But even
like
like
that.
his possessiveness over Fran, which is not excused in any way, but it's like he is 15. Like he's not. I don't know. It's just
the problem that may actually point to a bigger problem with Harold. It popped into my head with you saying it is that does he still have a father? He doesn't have a father figure.
Well, his father hates him.
His father hates it. Well,
yeah.
Well, but no. But if someone had taken him under their wing as a father figure, son figure, like the guy.
You're just saying after the outbreak.
After the outbreak, like in Colorado, if someone takes them under his wing, or if Glenn had, or if Stu had, and everything like that, then yeah. Then I think that he turns out different. But leaving a 15-year-old to his own devices and hoping that he turns out okay.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. It doesn't turn out well very often.
And then like the older sister's friend that you're going to have a crush on, like that's the only other one left. Like you telling me there's not one 15-year-old that's not going to like put that in their head where it's like, oh, this is set from the heavens. It's going to be me and her. Like it just, I'm not.
Especially someone like I just spaced on her name. Sue stuck in my head. Fran, who's supposed to is very good looking.
Yeah, and
it's also his older sister's best friend. Let's be perfectly honest. I have sisters. I have an older sister. I can tell you, her friends, some of the cutest girls I ever knew.
Yeah,
and then like years later, I kind of like pulled back and I reevaluated. And I'm like, no, they were still cute. But as a little brother, they were even cuter because they were my sister's friends. I don't know what the psychology there is with that.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with younger sisters. My friends were so cute to my little sister. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the psychology is there.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that to excuse him at all because he still has to have some responsibility. But I think I think
100% responsible.
I think I've always aged him up, being pretty much Fran's age, like maybe a year younger. So she's 21. I think I've always just kind of like immediately made him 20 in my brain.
I thought he was a junior in high school. So I thought he was like 16, 17.
I think I've just always overlooked it
because he's driving. That's the
thing.
Like,
but he's on a learner's permit.
Is he really?
He says that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is 15.
It's when he pulls up when she's going to go bury her dad. It says 15-year-old, and I'm like, I think I've always just breezed over that, and I just like, and again, because the actors they've always cast actors that are a bit closer to her age too, and it's just like, so I don't know. It just changes the mentality a bit because again, teenagers are famously not the most mentally like developed creatures. So total aside, but yeah, that's all right. For that, we good there to move on to the start diving into some articles here.
There's one other thing, one thing from the chat, and then one thing I want to cover is that Agamorphy says one poster said the young lady from Hereditary should have been would have been more book accurate. That's Millie Shapiro. Millie is 24 years old. So,
but does she look it though?
This picture, yes.
Tom Holland's 30 something, right? And he's So
that's fair. and very easily, Millie could have definitely been a Carrie White.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing that. That's facts. The last thing for the trailer that I want to talk about is something I didn't realize until we started talking, because I'm a talk to thinker kind of guy. My biggest hope, I think, is dashed for this series.
What's that?
The White Commission.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening. There's not a fucking hint of it in this trailer. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bummed now. I was pretty optimistic for that, and now I'm just kind of like, they're never going to do it right. I swear to God, they're never going to do Carrie 100% right by what I want.
So here's my challenge. Then I'm going to ask you to re-answer that question at the end of the episode.
Okay.
Not saying there's like crazy or whatever, but like we're gonna learn a lot as we go through here. So all right, yeah, let's dive on over to the next thing here, which is actually pre-trailer. So this was actually the first looks we ever saw, because this came out a week or so before the trailer.
Okay.
And this was a Hollywood Reporter article by Lexi Perez, and I have the slide will literally just kind of transition. The pictures will just kind of transition and move between all the images that were in the entire article. So Prime Video releases first look
there's
at
Carrie working on her dress.
Yeah, so look at Mike Flanagan's Carrie series by Lexi Perez from The Hollywood Reporter on July 13th, 2026. And for anyone on the podcast side, all this will be in the show notes. You can go through and look at the actual stuff that we're seeing and stuff. You can also all have links to the trailer if you want to go watch a trailer and you wanted to kind of, if you've missed it somehow and you want to go see kind of what we're, ever. Now that one that's on the screen for me, you're probably a little bit behind. Seeing Margaret White in the gym is very interesting. I don't think I've ever pictured her outside of the home.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting picture. So it says ahead, so my just kind of like my own wording of what the article is. Ahead of the San Diego Comic-Con, the Hollywood Reporter hit us with the first look stuff. Of course, by this time of the episode, we've actually seen the trailer.
Yeah.
But let's just remember that, this was before that. So the article says it's the first time the story has been adapted for TV. And while I would say that's technically correct, the middle adaptation of the previous 3 was a movie made for TV. So this is the first episodic television adaptation of Carrie,
which is made for TV, right?
But it's like a made for TV movie
show is a TV show.
Yeah,
right?
but a made for TV movie. I feel like the person was just very close to like being false. There is all I'm saying, because it's a movie made for TV. It was not even made to ever be on a movie screen. It was made to be on television. So it's all I'm saying. But the intention was it's the first time it was structured for TV, sure, but it's not the first time Carrie has been seen on the small screen. So. The article confirms it will premiere on Prime Video in 240 countries and territories worldwide, so we will not have to worry about those annoying issues where some of us will see it while others don't. I know we have an international audience here at Dark Tower Palaver, so that's pretty cool, because I do think that Amazon might be one of the best in the world for all streaming services where there's no issues, right? Like I remember back in the day when Disney Plus launched, and there were some of our listeners that didn't see Disney Plus for months and months, and I think it was 6-8 months after we got it and stuff. And then, so Prime is pretty good, though, to where this should be out the same way. So we also know it'll be 8 episodes long. And so the synopsis here that they're given, it says, misfit high schooler Carrie White, played by Howell, has spent her life hidden away inside the walls of her home with her fiercely protected mother, Margaret, played by Samantha Sloan. After her father's sudden and untimely death thrusts her into the unforgiving ecosystem of the public high school, Carrie is forced to navigate a viral bullying scandal that tears through her community, the relentless pressure and casual cruelty of the social media age, and the awakening of mysterious telekinetic powers that rises alongside her adolescence.
They're changing her backstory.
So there's a little bit there, yeah. And we're going to get more as we go through here, because this is like the first little nut of information. But we're
so on the screen right here, the couple, that's Chris. Trying to figure out.
Also, I think I'm off from the timing on you.
That's the teacher, Desjardins. That's Margaret. I'm just making sure that I have everyone.
Yeah,
right.
and so we got Sue and the boyfriend, and then we got
the
Chris.
two.
Yeah,
she's wearing like a pinkish, like lavender kind of shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. So, anything in that synopsis then?
Yes, there's a big thing that jumps out is that her dad is present in her life and then dies.
Yeah,
that is not how it is in the book. In the book, Margaret drives him away before Carrie's old enough to remember him.
Yeah.
So that is a big change there.
Yeah. And as we suspected pretty much since this announcement, I think we've been speculating that like the cyber element's going to be a big part of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, what did that say? Carrie is forced to navigate a viral bullying scandal that tears through her community. So that makes it feel a little bit maybe beyond just normal cyberbullying. This might be a full-on fucking thing. The fact that it says her community makes me think that like the protest thing you mentioned in the trailer kind of makes me wonder if like, there's this is going to get really out of hand.
I wonder if something else happens to someone else before it happens to Carrie, that it's not just like Carrie's not the focal point, but something happens to someone else and maybe they hurt themselves or
suicide,
the suicide, the attempt, maybe an attempted suicide, and then there's a call for change, and
that's a good call.
And then they step it up and decide to go for Carrie, and that's prom.
Yeah,
that would be because Carrie's not the focal point, right? Like she's not going to be the focal point if it is that, right?
Yeah,
like she can't be the focal point for the entire series. It's not going to be.
There's got to be. We've got to extend out into some other characters, right? Yeah, and we've been saying that pretty much since they told us it'd be 8 episodes long. Again, 8 hours, man. There's not 8 hours in this story unless you really go out and start to explore, like, what does Sue's home look like? What does the teacher's home life look like? Like, we got, maybe not extensive, but I think we got to flesh out these characters a bit more to where they're more than just, oh, there's the teacher that shows up for 3 scenes in the De Palma movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, like we're going to maybe get to know him a little bit more.
I mean, the big thing is like, it's going to be really nice to be able to see like the backstory with Margaret and her husband. And I'm very curious now looking at Margaret. I'm very curious if she is going to be the uptight. I imagine she still will be. I don't see Flanagan changing it completely, but I wonder if she's more
Stay tuned.
more cautious and protective of Carrie because she lost her husband.
Yeah.
That happens a lot with teenagers, especially.
Yeah.
If you lose a parent.
Yeah. Stay tuned to Dark Tower Palaver, all of you, including you, Peter, because more information might be forthcoming here.
Well, that's it for me. Goodbye, everybody.
Also, thank you, Agmorphes. It's nicely done on the carousel montage. I was hoping this worked out because I had to like figure out how many seconds for it to like transition stuff. Like, is this working out? Is
a little bit more time next time? Just a couple more seconds each.
Yeah.
It's like I start to like notice things and then it changes. Like, damn it.
Yeah. No,
I need 3 more seconds.
That's fair. I figured though that it would go through multiple cycles by the time
Yeah.
we got through the text here. So Flanagan's a showrunner, but also he's writing. He's also an executive producer, and he's directed 4 of the episodes. So
Okay.
half of the episodes will be directed by Flanagan. So
So the first of every episode.
he's getting the finale, right?
I mean, obviously. Obviously.
If you're Flanagan, would you allow anyone else to touch that?
Yeah. No, I'm good. Go ahead. I don't. You know what? Honestly, here's the question.
As Kate Siegel's like,
I got a question.
As Kate Siegel's like, I want to direct the finale. He's like, I want a divorce.
I got a question for you.
Of course, I'm joking, but
I got a question for you.
yeah.
Does the pig's blood happen in the last episode?
I mean, I have to assume it would.
Mm-mm. I'm calling it now.
Unless you want your character,
I'm
white commission.
I'm calling it now. It might happen in the 7th episode. Because think about
Go
it.
Game of Thrones.
Just think about it, right?
Have the big thing in 9, and then the 10th episode's in Game of Thrones. It was always that the big thing was in 9,
Yep.
and then 10 was all the repercussions.
Exactly. What's the repercussions of the prom? Of the pig's blood? What are the repercussions? The entire town gets destroyed.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the pig's blood right at the start of an episode?
So you're saying like the final
It's gonna
moments
be
of
the
7,
final moments of
and then
7,
all of 8
or
is-
maybe the final moments of 6.
And-
If I get the White Commission, and that's the 8th episode. If I get that, I will fall down and I will kiss Flanagan's feet.
Dude, what about if the White Commission was just in the credits, like as the credits are rolling?
Like the credits are rolling,
You
and
see
you get
senators and stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
You see, like, people like like the hearing committee and
Yep.
that would
Yep.
be, that'd actually be really fucking.
I'm
cool.
okay with that.
That'd be really cool. Plus, it'd give him more opportunities to throw some Flanagan family people in.
I've been saying it as well. Is that the White Commission is where you're going to give Sue, the actress who plays Sue, a chance to co-star with Carrie,
Yeah,
because that's where she's going to shine.
yeah,
Because she comes in front of that White Commission and she's like, what do you think happened? Like, she's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, I'm here. Yeah, okay. I'm also a victim.
yeah,
I lost my boyfriend. I lost all my friends. I lost my favorite teacher.
yeah.
So I think that the White Commission is important.
Yeah. No, I agree. I love it. So it also mentions the novel was published in 1974. It spent 14 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list and has been translated into more than 35 languages. It also mentions the original Palma film is celebrating its 50th anniversary, which you locked onto as well. So, so that's this article. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the next one here. And the next one is Carrie exclusive first look, how Mike Flanagan gives the Stephen King classic a modern TV twist. And this is by Nick Romano from Entertainment Weekly on July 13th, 2026. So this is actually the same day. So Hollywood Reporter gets that first look, and then we get another first look from Entertainment Weekly. They have a couple
new pictures.
They have new pictures, less pictures, but they have some new ones. But they have a little bit more information.
Carrie and Margaret. Okay.
And there's our principal. Oh, I guess on my screen.
Yep.
I'm ahead of you. So.
You're only about 2 seconds ahead of me there.
Okay.
So.
We also get the shower. So there's some there's some good images to
We got a shot of the shower a couple times in the trailer. So
yeah. So Nick
oh, interesting. Sue's looking at the girls recording, not at Carrie in that shot there. Carrie looks good in that outfit. That's kind of what I would picture Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts by stating the question of how do you turn a relatively short book into 8-episode drama?
Here we go.
Very good question. And then so this one is a lot of Flanagan quotes in this. So Flanagan says, quote, "That's the big question. Well, the big question's always why. Typically when you're adapting a Stephen King book, the mission is completely different. It's about how do you make it smaller. This was the complete inverse. If we're going to tell the story of Carrie White in long form, how do we make it expand?" So he doesn't really give us a ton of answers there, but he does, kind of, whatever.
He mentions the concern.
Yeah. It mentions the previous 3 adaptations and how the story fits well into the confines of feature film, because that's how it's always been done so far. Then we got Flanagan saying, quote, "De Palma adapted it faithfully and beautifully 50 years ago. Then it's been adapted twice after that. Officially and unofficially, it's been imitated scores of times.
Yeah.
So for me, this is never going to be a straight adaptation. The only way to approach it was to build something new out of the ingredients of Carrie. Otherwise, there's no real purpose in trying to retread ground that's been so beautifully walked on before."
Exactly.
So I think that gives you some foundation of like, and I think this is really interesting too, because honestly, if there's one thing we could really state about Flanagan is he has generally been very good at staying very true to the source material. Dr. Sleep being the exception, but he also was walking the knife's edge of King on one side and Kubrick on the other, one of the most iconic movies of all time, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. He's not going to be able to go into that and not address. So, but even there, I think he weaved those two things together perfectly. I think so. It's like generally he's been one to adapt pretty true to the material.
Take a look at Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Or Midnight Mass.
You still haven't read that one yet.
True. Yeah. Or Midnight Mass. It's not even Stephen King, but it is Stephen King. And pretty much feels as King.
It's Salem's Lot on an island. For God's sakes. Yes. Like no, really, it is like the vampire infestation that we talked about yesterday. Yeah. That's what happens on with Midnight Mass.
Yeah. And so otherwise, there's no real purpose in retreading the ground that's been so beautifully walked on before. The article then talks about when Flanagan struck the overall deal with Amazon, most expected it to be launched into the Dark Tower. So we get a little bit of Dark Tower nugget in here because they're like, oh, that's what we all expected to start off with. Flanagan. So this is our little Dark Tower nugget here. They didn't save it for the end of the article. Remember back in the old days when people would get interviewed and the last question would always be about the Dark Tower?
Yeah.
So Flanagan says, quote, "That, however, became one of the most complicated properties to get started. Getting the green light on the Dark Tower is much longer and more involved process than anything else I've ever approached in my life." So few things there. One, it sounds like he's pushing for a green light.
Or did he get a green light?
Well, no, because he says, getting the green light on the Dark Tower is a much longer and more involved process. Now, he also mentioned in previous interviews that, like, he's basically doing a lot of the legal work now, right? Seeing what rights he can get access to. He's basically trying to get all the goodwill built up to where it's like, hey, if I don't sign this with you, Warner Brothers, can I use some of this stuff from Dr. Sleep or from Salem's Lot, or you know what I mean? So I think he's doing a lot of groundwork now. But for him to basically say that, like, this has been more complex than anything he's ever done in his life it makes sense. But yeah, it gives us a little bit of a nugget for Dark Tower that it seems like, this is, but he's also said it's an oil tanker, right? This isn't something that turns on a dime. Right. This is something he knows is a long-term project. So, still. Give me the Dark Tower, God damn it.
Yes.
So to contrast that, Amazon actually brought the idea of Carrie to him to launch their partnership, which we already knew that. We've covered this previously. I think in the original announcement, it got brought up where Flanagan's like, I didn't really ask for this. Like, it was brought to me. And like, I have first thought no, but then finally I had this idea and then I sold it to King and King's like, nah, leave Carrie alone. And he's like, then I told him my idea and King was into it. So it's like, we already kind of knew that Amazon was the one that engaged this conversation. This wasn't a Flanagan brainchild to begin with. Yeah. Now, he of course came up with the seed that turned his no to a yes and then turned King's no to a yes. But ultimately this initially came from Amazon. So So Flanagan says, quote, "The themes that Steve was talking about half a century ago of kindness versus cruelty, of empathy and bullying, and violence at school have become even more relevant today than he ever could have contemplated because of our relationship to technology and to the degree which violence encroaches on our high schoolers, especially in the United States. So that meant we had an opportunity to tell a story about a modern teenage experience that could use the seeds of these characters that King created 50 years ago, but express them in a completely differently." So I feel like some of that feels kind of what we've suspected, right?
Yeah.
We thought there's probably gonna be a lot more of an influx of modern day stuff in there, right? So
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the shower scene. Like, it's about to come up here on the slideshow, is that all the girls have their phones out recording her.
yeah, 100%.
And also, I noticed that Carrie's wearing white pants.
I noticed that too. Now here's what I thought too. Imagine if she got those and she was very proud of them because it was actually feeling a little bit more trendy and a little bit more like less, whatever.
Less the first picture of her in like the Little House on the Prairie dress.
Damn near, yeah. In Utah, you'd call her a polygamist.
Very close.
Yeah, not far from it. So I wonder if that's like an outfit that she's particularly like proud of. Because how much more tragic would that be if she's finally
Oh, what if she's coming out of her shell and then it happens?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Oh, that is going to be so much worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And of course, I'm always thinking of how can you make it the worst on the characters? Because
so my suspicion now is that Carrie's going to go from being homeschooled because her mom can't stay home and has to work because her dad died. So she has to go to public school. Her mom's worried about her. Her mom's maybe being a little overprotective of her. But she goes to school. She starts to come out a little bit. She goes to the party. She meets Sue. But then the shower and the pants and the period happen.
Yeah. And you saw in one of the pictures, or was it in the trailer, the Instagram handle, like Carrie
_red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's very similar to what happened in the 2013 remake, is that they posted a video of her and everything.
But again, social media was so much less then that's like, it means so much more now. I mean, you're talking, this could be a TikTok, Instagram, not that kids are on Facebook anymore, but it's like, it's going to be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be, it's so much different now.
And also, if they do it right, if they have an app like Snapchat, I don't know if you haven't really used Snapchat, have you?
No, I think I downloaded it once, looked at it, and played it for a second. I'm like, this is stupid,
and then got rid of it.
Yeah, pretty
much.
So
the big thing with Snapchat that I found out, I've never really used it, is that it doesn't save the messages. So it's really good for sending something, getting the information across, but then it doesn't record it. What I mean by they record it because everyone's keeping all of our data everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's like if I send you a message, you can't keep it on your phone.
Yeah.
You go watch it, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So that is really good for kids who are trying to get away with shit, because if someone goes back to watch, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to play a part, that they're going to have something like that here. But I got a feeling that, obviously Chris has to get caught. Because that's the whole thing, right? Like, that's why she wants Carrie to be punished, is because she got punished.
Yeah.
And it's Carrie's fault that she's being punished.
Yeah.
And no one can punish Chris.
Yeah.
Without Chris punishing someone.
Yeah, 100%. So we got a little bit. My next thing here, if you unless you have more to say, is probably one of our next big reveals here. Go on. Set in the present day, Summer H. Howell is our new Carrie White, who spent her life hidden away at home with her mother Margaret, played by Samantha Sloan. So much so that I just lost my place. The state didn't even know the two existed.
Oh my God.
Until the death of her father, Ralph forces the spotlight into their household and forces the girl into the public school for the first time.
Oh.
So we're talking reclusive.
We're talking like almost like cult level kind of stuff. Like no.
Yeah.
Like
they
have the baby at home, don't even have a birth certificate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so now suddenly daddy being dead, that's going to be a very traumatic thing.
That's going to be a big
to upset the world. Yeah.
And also, let's be perfectly honest, it might be a little bit more interesting if Margaret isn't of the world either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll learn more about good old Margaret in a bit here. So Flanagan said this version couldn't be more different than De Palma's version. He called SpaceX's performance, quote, a clenched fist who's absolutely shaking out there in the world. Meanwhile, this version is, quote, wide open, eager, curious, and earnest. She's walking into the forest of her teenagehood without any sense of danger and with an innate trust of the goodness of people.
Yeah, if you come out, like, imagine that in 2026, that you come out of the woods. Let's use a really bad movie for an example, The Village.
Yeah.
With M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
You think it's the 1800s. You think you're living that's modern society. and then you come out to
This world, yeah.
you are going to be a deer in the headlights. You are going to be easy prey for every kind of piece of shit on this planet.
Oh yeah.
Everyone is going to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
It's going to be so bad.
Yeah, this is
That's a good way of doing it.
yeah. Also, Agamorphio agrees with you. Penultimate for sure. Flanagan likes final episodes as a denouncement. So yeah, and I think more TV's going that route nowadays. Like I think Game of Thrones really popularized that, where it's just like, don't leave people on the bang. Let people have the bang, and then let them have another hour to like digest it, and then send them off to like.
Well, I think it's also better. My opinion, I think better cliffhangers happen if you don't do the slap in the face is the last thing. I think it's the slap in the face and then I challenge you to a duel. That's the end.
Yeah.
Oh, where are we going next? The next part of it is being set up, but instead of just, oh, there's an explosion. Did everyone die?
Yeah.
That's been done. It's been done to death for 40 years of television.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
They needed to come up with something new, and I think this is it.
Yeah.
I think this is where you have something big happen. That's not saying that you can't leave on a cliffhanger. You absolutely can.
Yeah.
100% you could.
Yeah.
Like a riddle contest with an insane train.
And also, if Flanagan knew up front how it was going to be released, if he knew it was going to be binge model, that can also change how you structure your show, too.
Yeah.
If people are going to wait a week, or if they're not going to wait a week, like that is going to make you look differently at it as a filmmaker, right?
Exactly.
So,
Hagamorphy says it's a good way to get around filming teenage girls in a shower room. Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, Flanagan and team saw over 1,000 actors for the role of Carrie White.
Yeah.
The biggest casting search of his career. Many candidates emulated SpaceX's performance, but the team quietly wanted to avoid that. So, Flanagan said, "Summer looks like SpaceX looked at the time. Her performance in Curse of Chucky was too good, and we were willing to live with the physical similarities as a result. So basically, her performance in the Chucky movie was so good." Because originally they were almost going to reject her because she looked too much like SpaceX, and they're trying to distance themselves from that. But her performance in that other movie is so good that had them overlook the fact that she actually looks a lot like Sissy SpaceX.
Is that a movie or a series?
Movie.
The Chucky
movie. I watched it for my 50 movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's the only Chucky movie I hadn't
I knew there was also a Chucky series, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
which...
I haven't watched that yet. He also says he specifically wrote the role of Margaret for Sloan and called it the role she was born to play.
I mean, I saw Midnight Mass.
Yeah, exactly. It mentions the similarities between Margaret and Bev Keane from Midnight Mass, but that they wanted a different approach to the novel and De Palma's film. So
I wonder if she's not going to be as much of a bitch. I really wonder if she's going to not be a holier than thou Christian that King. We know King writes that character very well.
Yeah,
I can name five off the top of my head that I want to punch in the face because they're so insufferable.
Yeah, I will point out a number of months ago we covered Matthew Lillard saying that he thinks this is going to make Sloan an A-list actor. He says he thinks it's going to put her on the map. We covered that in the show. It's kind of a passing thing where he's like, whatever. I want to restate that just here.
Yeah.
So Flanagan said, our Margaret White is a woman who fiercely loves her daughter and wants to protect her from the world and the dangers that Margaret is aware of that Carrie is not. She does not know how to do that and thinks the way to protect her is to close her off, not punitively, but to create this private utopia and let her daughter exist earnestly, curiously, and wide open by protecting her from the world. It's a completely different dynamic.
Yes.
So it says the series will maintain the core canon events of this original story, including most of the major characters, the period scene, and the prom. So those things will exist, but there's a lot of changes going on here.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Margaret is going to be played a lot different than.
It's going to be interesting because I know a lot of people are going to hate it because simply Margaret's abusive.
Yeah.
But also in 2026, abuse looks a lot different than in 1976.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing nowadays. It's like child abuse is a very different thing. Yes, there is still the normal physical and emotional abuse that existed in 76, but there's a lot more now where this exists, where parents are just so terrified that anything can hurt their kid. I know of people that have talked that when they have kids, they're like, "Yep, that's it. I'm done with my career."
Yeah.
Like women who have just been flat out told me, they're just like, "Yeah, first time I get pregnant, that's it. I'm putting in my 2 weeks. I'm going to go home and I'm going to be a mom." And I'm like, Really, like and it's weird for me because my mom always worked, my wife works, you know, your mom always worked.
Yeah.
So like the people I grew up around always, I didn't know very many stay-home moms here in, you know,
But things
lower middle class Utah.
but
you know,
things
kind
are
of thing.
cyclical.
It is.
Things are folding back
They
on
do
in
and,
some ways.
and it's what I told you. I think it was a couple of weeks ago I brought this up, where I just feel like it's a pendulum. Things
Yeah.
always just swing from one side to the other, and it just seems like we can just go back and forth between the two,
Yeah.
and it never stays in one spot for long.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a good way of doing it, where it's not going to step on the toes of Margaret Whites that have come before, Carries that have come before,
Yeah.
and you're setting Carrie up to be even worse off,
Yeah.
that I feel, than the religiously traumatized Carrie.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So Flanagan says, we're getting there a completely different way about the prom, and the events of the prom are going to be completely different. That's a wonderfully delicious and irresistible opportunity for someone who loves adapting things. So it sounds like we're going to have all the canon events, but they're not going to come the way we think.
Okay.
So this will also expand the mythology of Carrie, using the novel's underused moments as launching pads. It mentions the novel zooming out and seeing 911 calls, police reports, courtroom testimonies, and scientific investigations that will attempt to explain Carrie. So Flanagan says, quote,
Whoa. Testimonies?
Peter's ears just perked up a little
I'm
bit.
sorry. Say that one more time.
Yeah.
Go through that list.
911 calls, police reports, courtroom testimonies, and scientific
Oh.
investigations.
Courtroom testimonies, scientific investigations.
Pray tell.
My.
So
My. Does that sound like the White Commission, Tad?
it does indeed.
It does sound like the White Commission.
So Flanagan says Stephen King also talked about the TK gene for telekinesis and the science behind Carrie's abilities. Something that De Palma's adaptations ignored was Carrie's place in the larger universe, and that she's part of a sorority of very gifted women and just doesn't know it. The book absolutely points at that, but that's something we could pick up and run with.
Okay.
Now here's, and I think this is going back to the article now, but it says, beginning with, not Flanagan's words, beginning with episode 2, each installment of this season will, according to the showrunner, open with a different, unique story of a different woman somewhere else in the world, somewhere else in time, coming to terms with their own powers.
Oh, we're getting a Carrie White not multiverse, but universe?
Just all the different women in different places, different times, different. Yeah.
Dude, they're doing our idea for fucking Predator with Carrie. Okay.
He notes, quote, and then quote from Flanagan, Carrie's specific place among that group of women is part of the real joy that we get to discover over the course of the season. So Flanagan says, one of the things I'm most sensitive to is when people change things, generally with adaptations. This would require an enormous amount of change and invention and recontextualizing, but that's kind of why I wanted to do it.
Dude.
It's a lot.
Dude.
It's a lot.
That gives us why it's a show.
Yeah.
So we're going to get Carrie, and then we're going to get Jill, and then we're going to get Tammy, and then we're going to get Sister Margaret.
Yeah. And also throughout time as well. So we might actually move through time a little bit.
Not in the 1900s, not in the 2000s. We're going to get 1500s, 1700s.
She's a witch.
Dude, I bet you we're going to get that for Flanagan, and we're going to see someone burned alive.
Yeah.
I can, if this lasts, I can guarantee you that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, dude, Salem witch trials?
Yeah. Well, speaking of witches,
Go on.
go to the next one here. This article is Samantha Sloan on reimagining Margaret White for Carrie, the role Mike Flanagan says she was born to play. And this is from Entertainment Weekly on July 23rd, 2026, from Nick Romano as well. So this starts by restating that Flanagan said the role for Margaret White is the role Sloan was born to play. It mentions the internet agreed when the 7-time, soon to be 8-time Flanagan collaborator was announced in the role. There was a collective relief across social media as if everyone agreed this role was in the right hands, and I think we were all part of that too, right?
Yes.
When it was announced, it's like, wait, it wasn't even announced because when
I said it the second I found out that Flanagan was doing
before casting.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't the one to said it. Maybe you said it.
We both did.
One of us said it.
Yeah.
The second you read the headline that Flanagan is doing Carrie, I'm like, the fucking lady from Midnight Mass is going to be Margaret
Yes,
White.
Margaret White.
Like, that is what is happening.
Yeah. So Sloan says, I also felt, of course, the responsibility that comes with people's trust. I think one of the reasons people responded strongly to me was because of Bev Kean and Midnight Mass.
Duh.
Yes, Samantha. That is why most of us thought of it. It does recap Midnight Mass and specifically the role that Bev plays. We won't cover it here because, yeah, we all know for the most part. If you haven't watched Midnight Mass, please watch it. It's a fucking genius show.
It's king, but not king vampires.
Yeah. Indeed. So Sloan says, I was worried that it would be too close of a character for him to want to come to me again. But when I read how this Margaret existed in the world, I was really excited. So she was even worried that Flanagan wouldn't come her direction for it. So instead of the classic vision of the mom who flogs her daughter or locks her in the closet to repent, quote, Flanagan says, quote, so to your point, so let me just restate that. Instead of the classic vision of the mom who flogs her daughter or locks her in a closet to repent, Flanagan said, I went into this determined to not hate Margaret White. I wanted to understand her. And part of the importance of that is Margaret's not entirely wrong. There's a lot that she has to say in the show that I agree with, and it makes the event makes it even more complicated. So and so now going back to the article, this version of Margaret is just as closed off as Carrie. She spent years as an extreme stay-at-home mom, even so much so the state didn't know that she and Carrie existed until her husband Ralph died in a freak construction accident. So that's going to be a yeah.
Oh no, dude, the rocks. Does Carrie kill her dad?
I'm wondering the same thing. Yeah.
The rock rain.
Is it like accidental, right? Like it.
Oh, what if he's building something on their property because they're sheltered and everything like that, and then the rocks come because she's upset, and that's what kills her papa.
Could be.
Oh,
could be.
Flanagan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, as she then watched she watches Carrie go to school for the first time as she joins the workforce.
Yeah,
so
that's what I said.
Margaret's gonna have to.
That's what I said. Yeah.
So here's the article goes on. She is a conspiracy theorist who thinks there is a war being waged on Christian believers and on family values, a trait exacerbated by her husband when he was alive. So we're not moving completely away from Margaret White being Margaret White. So
I mean, she's still going to be like super religious.
Yeah,
but she's in the vein that Christians are being persecuted. Okay.
Yeah, and family values is being attacked. And conspiracy theorists. I think that's a key thing to lock in on. So Sloan says Margaret finds such comfort in conspiracies because she doesn't understand the world she's existing in, which I think is pretty common with conspiracy stuff. In arguably the most radical change from the novel, Sloan says, quote, she loves Carrie more than anything in the world, but like many family members, we're bound to each other, but we don't exactly see the world the same way. She loves Carrie, but she does not understand Carrie.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe more a little bit of a mental illness with Margaret, where she's not able to physically care for her daughter the proper way. Okay.
I picture that's like Hank Hill and Bobby, right? Like there's just that there's the not being able to understand.
There's an example out there, and I can't think of it off of the top of my head, where there's a woman that's just not fit to be a mother kind of thing. And not because she's vindictive or evil
bad,
or bad. It's just that she's not.
It's an inability.
She's not able to comprehend a child and not able to comprehend like a teenager kind of thing. It's just like, I can't imagine what you're going to go through because my religion is being persecuted. Look what happened to your father. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe he gets killed because he is religious.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or they're just teasing him and, you know, it's an accident kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is what I picture maybe. Oh man, this is hyping me up, dude.
Yeah, so then it kind of restates a little bit here. Carrie steps into high school as a wide-eyed sophomore who assumes the good in everyone, including the senior who will be her chief tormentor, Chris Hargensen.
Yeah.
So Sloan says Margaret's reaction to fear instead of trying to learn or understand is to really go to war with the world. Margaret's really just all suspicion and fear and hatred. So that's Sloan's.
The war with the world. I wonder if she's the one that starts like the protests and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she's the one that's going to spark
it. What if
she
gets so busy with that she doesn't see what's happening with Carrie?
Yeah. Yeah, Sloan discussed a scene where her character confronts Principal Grail, played by Matthew Lillard, because of something that happened on the school grounds, and warns him not to underestimate parents for, quote, "We are legion and we will rain down on you like God's wrath."
Good Lord.
That's that's coming on heavy there, Margaret.
Yeah.
Sloan, to close off the article here, Sloan says, and later she says, we are an army and we have God on our side. Ralph was in the military, and she references a few times how he talked about how to address your enemy, and I feel like that is where Margaret thinks she is. She thinks this is a battle, and all the darkness of the world, comes with that.
Yeah.
So sounds like, yeah, because he's former military, it sounds like, and yeah, they've been pretty much closed in. They're the only touch the outside world is him, and he's probably religious as well. He's got a military aspect, so
I wonder if he saw some shit, brought it home, and
yeah,
the pocket closes around his family kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. Agamorphy does says maybe a certain Charlie McGee might be involved.
I don't know. It's not telekinesis. It's pyrokinesis. So, slight difference, unless they're going to branch out and do like all the branches of the...
Now, here's the question.
The shop?
Might we see someone in one of these that might later be a breaker in the Dark Tower series?
You're
making it for Amazon.
Basically,
if Amazon ends up picking it up like I suspect,
yeah,
you now own it to where it's like maybe one of the primary breakers you're now going to deal with is someone that we actually meet in this season of Carrie.
Dude, I'm just saying, they've done it so many times across the Dark Tower where they basically, in other books as well, where basically being psychic, having any kind of mental ability makes you a breaker.
Yeah.
Because I think it's all but confirmed that Abra's a breaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is Danny Torrance.
Yeah.
The Shining is what makes you a breaker kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if Charlie fits that necessarily. She is kind of a little bit different. Being it just be fire, and also she wasn't born with... Well, she was born with it, but it was because her parents were experimented on.
Yeah.
So I see a slight difference there between Charlie McGee, but I'm not ruling it out because Flanagan... Also, let's be perfectly honest, Firestarter's owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, whoever it is. Yes.
Yeah, because they just remade... They made a movie just a few years ago, that shitty-ass movie.
With no face karate chop.
Maybe we'll get one of those in Carrie.
Oh, I'll take that.
Tad will take a face karate chop any day.
Anytime. That and the throat punch. So the next one here is Mike Flanagan promises his Carrie will subvert all your expectations. This is by Cheryl Eddy from Gizmodo on July 26, 2026. So this is from San Diego Comic-Con, and it is framed around the trailer. So first we have Flanagan, a quote here. He says, "I think bullying has changed a lot in 50 years since the novel was written. I think our understanding of the cycles that create that kind of behavior has also evolved quite a bit. I do think, though, that bullying can take many, many forms, and we were very careful. And here's an interesting thing. We brought several high school students into the writer's room to ask them if they could share their experiences and things they dealt with, either in these shocking one-off situations or just the constant kind of treatment that and microaggressions and things that don't necessarily immediately present themselves as any kind of targeted harassment that they really are."
Damn.
So that's genius.
Damn. That is so smart.
That is fucking genius, dude.
Not to talk to the actress who's playing Carrie.
Yeah.
But into the writer's room so that they get it right with the script, with the dialogue, with the events of the story.
Yeah.
That's
rather than a bunch of 40, 50-year-old writers being like, well, this is what bullying probably is.
Yeah, this is what modern-day bullying is with social media, like with the Twitter.
Yeah. So he talked about how the internet has encouraged that kind of cruelty. It rewards it, it celebrates it, amplifies it, and it lets us hide behind anonymity. This is awful for adults to deal with, much less teenagers, is what Flanagan says there. So... Flanagan says, "Carrie White as a character in every other incarnation of this story, you meet her, and she is she is trembling with trauma from the very first time you ever lay eyes on her. Our Carrie has lived her whole life sequestered in a house with her mother and her father, and has never stepped foot outside of that house and into our world.
She doesn't know what the word trauma means.
No, she's completely.
She's. Oh my God, she's Hayden. Oh my God."
Carrie is Hayden.
Hayden is Carrie.
And so she comes into that
Einhard is Finkel.
and she comes into that earnest and eager and curious and wide open, and through her eyes we get to look at the kind of thing that we have normalized in our high schools, and we get to see what the modern experience is. And these modern experiences include having to pass your metal detectors and to participate in active shooter drills.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
She's not going to know what any of that is.
No.
Oh, my God.
No.
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah. Then Flanagan says, I made mistakes in high school, plenty of them, as I tried to figure out who I was, but those mistakes were private. They kind of, and they were kind of confined within the walls of my school. My son's in high school, freshman. He's a high school freshman right now, and he lives in a world where that kind of torment and those kind of mistakes are made public and can be memorialized online forever.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible change, and that's a world that we get to scrutinize through the innocent, the innocent character's eyes. And that turned out to be one of the biggest parts of the show. So
it's so smart.
Yeah, I'm 100%. And another big part of the show is the prom, but Flanagan insists if you think you know what happens with that moment, you don't. And he called the sequence the most complex scene he's ever filmed, and as well as a showstopper and one of the favorite sequences he's ever been part of in his career in any capacity. So yes, he's filming it then, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But also when it says most complex, let's go back to that episode 7 of Haunting a Hill House. That fucking single shot, the entire fucking episode, cross-cutting through the houses with the different actors, and it's all one. I mean, 40 minutes of it's one shot.
Yeah,
like you're telling me this is going to be more complex than that? Like, Jesus Christ, dude! Because I still watch that and I just marvel. Like, I think every time I watch Haunting Hill House now, I watch that episode twice. I finish it, I just click back and just rewatch it because it's just like, it's a marvel, dude.
Run it again, Jerry.
Yeah, 100%. So Flanagan, who also generally has been good about staying close to the source material, is going another route here. And this closed off this article. Flanagan said, it's a thrilling way to adapt something, to take it apart to its essential pieces and then use it to build something new. That is how we were approaching Carrie. That's what got Stephen King very excited about this adaptation. I think a lot of people think they know what the show is. And the big thing is I'm excited about today is just knowing what a big surprise our Carrie is going to be. So very exciting.
Yeah.
Agamorphy says how Margaret of her.
Yeah.
Oh man. So let's jump over to the next one here. That one is, this is an interesting one. Carrie season 2.
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan sees TV series not as a finite story, talks expanding the world.
Yeah.
And this is Nick Romano from Entertainment Weekly on the 27th of July, 2026. And he recaps in brief a lot of what we've covered up to this point, but says that most of the surprising aspect of Carrie could end up being a multi-season affair. At San Diego Comic-Con, Flanagan said, quote, "The beauty of not being beholden to the book or to any of the previous adaptations is that potential of the characters and of the greater world that she belongs in does allow to look the character belongs to does allow to look at not just a finite story. I also I don't speculate as to what could or what will or won't be with Amazon and what they may want to do down the line. But my priority is to make these episodes as great as I can from start to finish." And he says it's a lesson he learned from Midnight Club that was designed to be continued on and do multiple seasons, but then he moved from Netflix to Amazon, and Netflix killed Midnight Club with one season. So he's basically learning his lesson there that you don't always know if you're going to get more. Flanagan says, having done so many limited series, I wanted to make sure that when it ends, it's perfectly satisfying no matter what happens, whether you're moving on or not. But yeah, part of the fun was diving into what an expansive world this could potentially continue on as. And then he says, when he published Carrie, the larger King universe didn't really exist, although the backbone of it did. The Gunslinger had already been done. I think any of the true King fans know how all the worlds are connected. Whether you can see the path of the beam or not, you don't know. It's been really fun to imagine Carrie's place within that potential larger universe. So. It's interesting. Flanagan points out that if Carrie were to meet a certain character at a certain time in a different place in a different world on a different level of the tower, as he says, they might say that Carrie has the shine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Flanagan says, quote, and all these things connect. The beauty of being a King fan is finding those threads. So yeah, it's a very exciting thing for me as a King fanatic. And that's all I'm going to say. How can all this be part of a larger story that he's always been telling? So Yeah, I have a feeling that there's some groundwork being laid here for the Dark Tower in this, even if it doesn't continue on in multiple
Imagine
seasons.
if he just uses this to. First off, we were always wondering if this is going to cement his path to the Dark Tower.
Yeah,
But imagine if he's laying groundwork here to pull actors and other people, other characters in from here.
yeah, 100%.
Imagine if we get a Father Callahan character somewhere. It's going to be hard because, again, Salem's Lot's owned by HBO.
You know what we got to look
So,
out
Warner
for?
Brothers.
We got to look out for in Carrie here.
Hmm.
It's for any missing pet posters.
Oh. Have you seen he has a burned hand?
Yeah, that's the kind of like fun little Easter eggs I'd be looking for. I actually look for in Life of Chuck. Every time I watch it, I'm like looking at every license plate. I'm looking at streets, like graffiti, just everything. I'm looking for like Bango Skank. I'm looking for whatever. So next one here might seem very, very out of left field, but it's a note from Games Workshop Group PLC's annual report from 2026.
What? What?
I'm just going to say up front, I apologize about this. So this is the company behind Warhammer and
Okay.
Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
So, and this is literally their annual report to their shareholders and stuff.
Okay.
And like,
Okay.
so I'm just going to read from their shareholder thing here.
Where the fuck are we going with this, Tad?
I'm sorry, Peter.
I don't mind Warhammer. It's not for me. I haven't never got into it, but
I'm glad I have that on audio here. So on December 10th, on 10 December 2024, that's a British company, we announced the conclusion of our negotiations with Amazon for an adaptation of Games Workshop Warhammer 40,000 universe into film and television series, together with associated merchandising rights. There's a long-term partnership with Amazon, and these adaptations will take years to bring successfully to the market. The project continues in line with our contractual agreements with Amazon. The same contract prohibits us from sharing certain specific details or commercial terms. But what we can share is that Amazon has brought us on board, or has brought on board United Artists (UA) and Mike Flanagan.
what?
What'd you say? You don't hate Warhammer? So. Vertigo and Henry Cavill remain involved as they have been for some time. Having completed initial outlines, Mike will soon be moving on to script. Meanwhile, UA have been decisive and brought their renowned pace and quality to the project. Thank you.
We're never getting Dark Tower. It's not happening.
I'm not saying I love rug pulls in these episodes, but sometimes
Fuck you, Tad.
they just
Fuck you, Tad.
So.
God, you're the worst.
A number of more bloggy type places were reporting that Flanagan had been attached to Warhammer, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not it's none of them are necessarily like the most trustworthy or whatever. But then I found this annual report, and this is literally something sent to the shareholders, which means if it's not truthful, it's deceiving the shareholders, and that comes with prison time.
Yeah.
So then on July 28th, Deadline had an article saying that he is in talks to join as an executive producer, but they also said they are hearing that Flanagan might also be engaging as a showrunner, writer, and director for the series. None of this feels totally solid yet because the Deadline thing still is very much saying in talks, and also in talks is the first part of the article, and then it says we are hearing that he'll EP and then he might potentially be writing and directing. So it's like there's layers to this. If he's just executive producing, that's one thing, but if it goes any further than that, I'm not very happy. I'm not very happy. Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't know. I don't know what to say on this, but
That is a massive project. That is years gone.
Yeah.
Not a year. Not half a year.
Yeah, like the movies that have been happening.
Yeah.
Those are that eats
Even
up a
Carrie
year, right?
is a big thing.
I think
This is 10 times the size of Carrie.
yeah.
This is arguably this is probably bigger than the Dark Tower
Yeah.
with how complex. I don't know.
And it's
I know almost nothing about Warhammer. I know one thing about it only. It is very, very complicated, very in-depth, very, very big fandom. So
Yeah. And it mentioned movies and television. So
Yep.
we're talking, this sounds like this is a multifaceted ordeal.
Yep.
So here's the thing. We'll keep an eye on this as time goes. Hopefully it falls through and he doesn't end up attached to this in any way, or he's just attached as an executive producer. But as time goes, at some point things get solidified and we'll probably get some sort of announcement one way or the other. If it's a full-on announcement that Flanagan is an executive producer for this, that's not as big a deal. The one thing of comfort that I think I would take out of this as well is it does sound like the entirety of the first season of The Dark Tower is fully written. So if he were to get a green light, that can go to film like pretty well right off, right? You know, it's not a thing where it's now going to be 4 or 5 months of him having to write that first season and that kind of stuff. So it's like, that is an encouragement to it a bit, but I will say, when I was seeing these, I was very happy that I was seeing this from like these weird blog places and stuff where it wasn't like enough to me like to like super get upset about it. I was just like, it's probably just rumors. It's all nonsense. Like it was all just weird ass places. But yeah, then I saw that this thing and then the Deadline article. But again, the Deadline article, there's a lot of flex in there because it just says he's in talks. I mean, I remember when Joaquin Phoenix was in talks to play Doctor Strange. So like, you never know what in talks results in. So yeah,
if this happens, I'm gonna stop hoping for the Dark Tower with Flanagan. I'm gonna give up at that point.
It is
that's way too much of a project. We're talking like Walking Dead level involvement, like 11 seasons, 6 at the minimum, with the stories that Warhammer has and stuff like that. And then there's like, if I remember right with Warhammer, there's like fucking eras. So there's like different eras so that you can go into and do and everything like that. So it's just like, it's way more complicated than just doing like, oh, this is an adaptation of Carrie. We're going to start a Carrie universe. Because I could also see Carrie living on without Flanagan.
Yeah.
I think he does season 1 and maybe then he just steps back as executive producer.
Yeah.
And lets the other seasons be other people cutting their teeth on making a Carrie White story.
Maybe he does that for Warhammer. Maybe he's even if he's full on writing, directing and stuff for season 1, he helps him get it on the feet. And then, and here's the other thing. I know this might feel like I'm grasping at straws, but this is legitimately a large project for Amazon. They put a lot of, I think they did a big deal to actually sign this and stuff.
Yeah.
Are they just like, you got to get this? Because like maybe it's the next part of it. Okay, you're going to show us King. You're going to show us some success for us for King. And now we're going to have you do some larger scale thing that we already believe very heavily in. You're going to start us with that. And then from there, that might be your green light to the Dark Tower. It's like checking the boxes, right? It's like, show us you can do King. We've seen you do it in film and stuff, but it's like, but also do it for us. We're going to give you one of the more iconic things of all time, so it should be a layup. But it's like, show us success with that. Give us our first thing for our deal. And this other side of things, it's like, show us you can do something that's fucking massive. It's grand. Give us this first season or whatever. And then
The Exorcist isn't Amazon.
No, that's a movie. I mean, Amazon does movies, but that's a small potatoes for their world. They're way more in the streaming
the
TV realm.
whole TV realm. Fallout, The Boys, The Lord of the Rings.
Project Hail Mary is probably their biggest film thing, and that was huge, certainly. But yeah. Heil Baraki coming in right in time for the somewhat troubling news.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what though? I'm not a villain. I've got at least some good news here.
Yeah, do you?
Out of nowhere a little bit too. Stephen King movie Desperation in the works. From Final Destination duo and Sam Raimi.
Oh.
So this is from Aaron Couch from The Hollywood Reporter yesterday, July 31st, 2026.
Okay.
I was literally getting ready to do prep and I saw a tweet about this. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I'm like, that can't be real. And I saw it was Hollywood Reporter. I'm like, what the fuck? So,
Brocky's been here the whole time. He just was lurking.
Oh, okay. I always love lurk. I love the word lurking too. It's a fun word.
Lurking in the shadows.
There's one of the live albums of Iron Maiden. Bruce Dickinson is talking about, because they have Eddie that'll come out on stage and shit. He's like, oh, he's always lurking about. And just the way he says it, that's always sticks in my head. But lurking's
they're British, right? Iron Maiden?
Yeah, lurking's a good word though. But yeah, Desperation's heading to the big screen. So in demand filming duo Zachary Limbofsky and Adam B. Stein are in talks to direct. And for the first time ever, King would be working with Sam Raimi, as Sam Raimi is in talks to be producing. So of course, famously, King basically made Sam Raimi's career because Evil Dead was a thing. It was very much a cult hit. He was trying to get funding for Evil Dead 2, really couldn't get it, and Stephen King put his voice out there and said, "Hey, this is a really cool fucking thing. People should get behind it." And there came his green light. So there's a slight tie to King and Raimi, but they've never actually worked together.
Yeah.
You know, so there's always been an element of like respect between the two.
Yeah.
So. And then Ryan Brennan is writing the script. So the log line, and you've read this, I have not.
Yeah.
So log line, stranded in a remote desert town where something evil is awakened. A group of travelers must fight to survive when a sadistic, possessed cop turns a routine arrest into a relentless fight for their lives. So Lipovsky and Stein became a hot commodity last summer thanks to their sleeper hit Final Destination Bloodlines, which I really enjoyed. So I would say from that perspective, they're stacked currently. They're doing a short story adaptation, a short story they're adapting called Long Lost with Amblin and Universal, as well as they're writing the third Gremlins movie for Chris Columbus. So ever since the Final Destination, they've been pretty hot properties. So yeah, I just kind of feels out of nowhere. This is not one I would have had on my bingo card of movies I would suspect. So got that on the big board there. Desperation added to the list, which the Regulators has been on the list for ages. I don't know. It's probably not even a thing anymore, but still on our list. Till we hear that it's like something's dead, we just keep it on the board. So very, very interesting. Next up here is an interesting one. It's a quiz. Can you name the Stephen King book by one minor character?
Bring it. Let's go. I'm in. I'm locked in.
All right. So let me find the damn link here. All right.
Wait, hold on. Hydration break.
I did this on my own already, so I'm not going to have any part of this.
Okay.
The first one, Victor Pascal. And you got four. I'm going to let you call it if you want to call it first, but then I can give you your options if you want. Let's call it lifelines.
I know that name. Victor Pascal.
Pascal, no L.
Pascal.
Yes.
Pascal.
Victor. And the chat, anyone can pop in too if you want to throw stuff out there.
Well, I'm gonna scroll from the chat so I don't see it. Okay. All right, give me my lifelines. I should know this one.
We got The Dark Half, Salem's Lot, Pet Cemetery, and The Outsider.
Shit, that does nothing for me. I would have sworn that one of those would have been like, oh, that's it. That's it. No. Okay, I don't think it's The Outsider.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's not The Outsider. Is it? It's not Salem's Lot.
Okay, so Dark Half or Pet Cemetery?
It's Pet Cemetery.
That is correct.
That's the victim.
Yeah.
That's the guy that dies and he keeps seeing him. Okay.
And I will say, like, there's Vic Palfrey in The Stand, but Victor's a very unique name.
Yeah.
And came from because like, I immediately, the second I saw the name, I'm like, that's Pet Cemetery. That's the fucking,
that's the college kid that gets hit by the car.
Yeah. It's very, very gory. So, like, I don't know why, and maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm sure there's people in the chat, but no, there's like 12 Victors. You're just forgetting them. But like, for some reason, Victor, it wasn't even the last name that got it. It was Victor for me. I'm like, that sounds like Pet Cemetery to me. But, next up, this one's too easy. Tom Cullen. It's not even
The Stand.
It's not even a minor character. No. Come on.
I mean,
do it like Kit Bradenton. That's a minor Stand character I would have put on there.
The kid.
That's even too big. Like Kit Bradenton, because like most people, if you don't read it like me all the time, like that's the one that gives Flag the car and stuff. But it's like that's such a small character, or one of like Stu's friends. Right?
I hate to break it to you, but side characters are characters that aren't the main characters, and Tom Cullen is not a main character.
Tom has multiple chapters.
Multiple chapters does not make you a main character.
And he's one of the most beloved characters.
Yes, most beloved does not make you a main character.
71% got it right. That's too easy.
That's
all
too
I'm saying.
easy. You can have easy questions on a quiz, Tad. They don't have to be like
bullshit.
You don't want people to score 0.
Baraki did get Pet Cemetery, and then LOL'd for Tom Cullen. The next one you all could laugh at too. Holly Gibney.
What? That's not fair. She's in so much. Which one?
Yeah. So
so we got Mr. Mercedes, Finders Keepers, End of Watch, The Outsider, Holly, and
did you say If It Bleeds?
If It Bleeds.
Yeah.
So which one?
Did you say Never Flinch?
Never Flinch. I forgot that one.
Mr. Mercedes, Salem's Lot, Green Mile, or Fairy Tale. I'm like,
Mr.
again,
Mercedes.
it's not from Mr. Mercedes, you can maybe argue a minor character, but the problem is when you take the entire context of King, though, like she's not minor anymore.
You cannot argue Holly is a minor character. And again, it's not minor, it's side character, Tad. There's a difference between minor character and side character. A side character is someone who is part of the plot but isn't the main character. They would get supporting actresses.
But no, it
role.
says minor character is the name of the thing though.
Oh, is it?
Not side.
Okay.
71% again. So again, too easy. Next one, Deke Simmons.
Deke, I know Deke. That's 11/22/63.
I got that one immediately too,
Yeah.
without even looking at the things.
That's the
Principal.
No.
Isn't it
no.
the principal? Yeah, I thought it was the principal.
Yeah, he was the principal.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was the principal. But it was the librarian who really ran the school.
The Institute, Long Walk, The Stand are 11/22/63. Also, I'll say they get it wrong because they put 11 with dots. The adaptation did dots, but the book is slashes.
Yeah.
So
It's dashes, actually, isn't it?
It is dashes. That's right. I do slashes, but it is dashes. Only 36% got that one.
No, he does slashes on the cover.
36% said Long Walk. So a lot of people got that one.
Yeah.
Also 20% said the Institute. So I guess Deke did not stick with people as much as it did for you and I. Next one, let's see, Sheriff Pangborn.
Needful Things.
The Shining, Misery, Cujo, and the Dark Half. He shows up in multiple. So this, I actually got this one
He's
wrong.
in the dark half.
So Dark Half, Cujo, Misery, Shining. Dark Half, you got it. So I missed it. I said Cujo because Cujo's in Castle Rock.
Yeah.
So that
Pangborn is taking over for the sheriff who dies in Cujo.
Yeah, so that one got 20% got it right, but 38% said Cujo like I did. 37% said Misery.
Yeah.
And then 5% said The Shining.
Misery's the wrong state.
5% said The Shining.
The Shining.
Oh,
He's
man.
not even a sheriff in The Shining.
Baraki said he was going to guess Cujo as well. So,
No, Pangborn takes over for the sheriff who dies in Cujo.
So this one, Jerome Wireman.
If I remember right. Jerome
Wireman.
Jerome Wireman.
I'll let you hang on it before I give you the options of just. I don't want to give you the multiple choice right away.
Jerome Wireman does not sound familiar at all. Oh God, is he from Tommy Knockers?
I wish.
Because I blocked everything. I don't know a single character from Tommy Knockers.
So we got the.
Oh, is he from Dreamcatcher?
No, that's not
Okay,
one of your
okay,
options.
What are my options?
Baraki got it. Your options: Langoliers, Duma Key, Mr. Mercedes, and the Dark Tower. I actually, you know what? This is a complete guess on my part.
Is it Duma Key?
It's Duma Key.
It's Duma Key. Okay.
Yeah. But I guess I almost gave you 50-50 there because I've read Dark Tower, Mr. Mercedes, but I have not read the Langoliers or Duma Key. So
if I remember right, Baraki, isn't that one of your favorites? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Chris in Australia.
Oh, that's.
I mean, multiple people have raved about it, but yeah. Chris is a big one. This one almost felt unfair for us, but Weasley Craig. No?
Who's that? What are my options? I don't.
Salem's Lot, Pet Cemetery, Needful Things, and Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, Weasley. He's the guy at the boarding house. Yeah, okay, Weasley. Yeah, Salem's Lot.
We just watched.
Yeah,
we just watched it. So that one, Minority got it right. Oh, well, 5% said Pet Cemetery, 23% said that. But then Needful Things got 33% of the vote, and Rita Hayworth, Shawshank Redemption got 39% of the vote. So a lot of people got that one wrong there. Next one, Bango Skank.
I mean, he's only in the stand. Is he in anything?
Well, not in, but what? It's a minor character, so it's The Shining, Dark Tower, or Duma Key.
Dark Tower, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't know that Bango Skank really shows up that much outside of.
He's in the stand.
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's a graffiti that Larry sees in the going to the tunnel that says Bango Skank was here.
No, I'm literally on that right now. No. I'm literally this morning when I was brushing my teeth, I was listening to the tunnel scene. So no graffiti because it starts to rain, thunder, hail, and stuff. Like he doesn't have time to see graffiti going into the tunnel. So, but it is Dark Tower. But it's all throughout the Dark Tower though. Bango Skank is like probably in 4 or 5 books we get references to him.
Yeah.
So he's pretty pervasive in the Dark Tower for sure. Next one. Oh, never mind. That was the end of it. You got 100%.
Thank you.
I got 75. I missed. I forget which one I missed, but I missed one of them.
It was the Pangborn.
Or Pangborn, yeah, because I guess Cujo. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for me. All right, so no, yeah, and Brocky's right. He's not actually in any books. He's just referenced.
Yeah.
The
Like
graffiti.
the character's not in it, but like the graffiti is what I mean.
Yeah. So yeah, he's truly not in anything. It's just graffiti for sure. So,
I think what it is I might be crossing my wires, and you're gonna have to slap my hand here if this is the case. I think it's the shitty adaptation that has it.
oh, maybe, yeah,
I think that
which would make sense, right?
I think that's maybe where I'm crossing my streams there.
Oh, it could very
Is
well
that
be.
there's a visual of Bango Skank was here, and then
I think you're right because I think it was even in the trailer too. So yeah,
right, because I think both of us were like Leo, maybe hey.
yeah. Whoop. All right, so now moving over to odds and ends. The first one here, if you're happen to be in Maine this month, you can go watch it in a Bangor cemetery. So I'll have links for that in the show notes.
That sounds like fun.
Go have a screening, and it's you buy tickets for it, and the tickets are going to proceed some local, it's for a good cause, I guess is what I'd say. So it's on the August 19th, or the 20th if it rains. So, wouldn't that be fun? We should have a screening of it in a cemetery here in Utah. That'd be fun.
I think we should.
I think your wife would appreciate it.
Hayden might not, but my wife would. She likes it.
Let's see. Baraki says the adaptation might have, but it probably was All Hail the Crimson King, not Bango Skank, which that might be true too.
Might be.
Yeah.
I think I'm crossing streams again because I looked it up. I can't find anything either. I think it's the New York that's getting me because I'm thinking of Song of Susanna where it's all the
in New York. Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah. So next up, Different Seasons is banned in Utah schools.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in my state. That is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I did see King say one thing about this. How on God's green earth is the body deserving to be banned?
Yeah, as you said, they banned Different Seasons in Utah. It contains Stand By Me and The Shawshank Redemption, stories of friendship and courage, readable by teens too. What's wrong with these people? I agree, King.
Yeah, it's so.
Don't throw it on us.
You're gonna ban this.
You know,
like this is what you banned. You take a stand on this when you could ban any of King's works.
I think there's already a dozen or so banned in Utah.
Oh, really?
So this is just adding to the extensive list. Yeah. So I'm an absolutist. I say there should be nothing banned in a library. I think any book should be allowed. You know, that's me because whatever. But yeah, unfortunate. Definitely not anything Peter and I would agree with. Next up, The Long Walk has hit HBO Max. I don't know if we heard about this or not.
I think it was we covered it last episode.
But not only that, but it was hitting number 1 for performance on there. So it's performing quite well, which is great because honestly, it's a great fucking movie. And it does kind of have me wonder, with it being that successful on HBO Max, down the road, 10 years from now, are we going to look back and see that as maybe the most, popular adaptation of 2025 or 2026? Was it? Or no, 2025. It was a big year. We had 6 adaptations. So yeah. And then next up, we've got, the show Haven, which was based on the Colorado Kid, is now hit Prime, and it has cracked the top 10. So it's a show that ran for 5 years. I actually think I only learned this very recently that this was a King adaptation. I think I've heard of it, but I've always just assumed it was some UPN whatever. It just felt like a shitty dumb show.
Yeah.
But apparently it's based on the Colorado Kid, which I've read now, and I don't know how the fuck you base 5 seasons of TV off of that.
Oh yeah,
that was a very ambiguous book. That was a book where you're just like, wait, what happened? It was very open-ended. So I don't know. Maybe that's why it's open-ended, so they can just do whatever the fuck they want for a show. So, all right, let's emails.
It's the emails. Tad's gonna read us what people wrote to us.
You know that's not getting deleted, right?
God damn it. I love when we got emails.
Baraki says, I agree with you too, but do kids even check books out from libraries anymore?
My kid hasn't.
Yeah, I haven't in years and years and years either. I actually got a library card maybe 10, 15 years ago, but I don't think I ever really used it.
I got my daughter a library card, and she used it for 6 months. It was nice to go to the library and everything, but I don't read physical anymore. I listen to audiobooks. It's just
libraries have
so much
audiobooks
easier.
too.
I know they do.
My
You can
barber
even-
taught me that.
You can even check out them and just like download
And
them and listen
ebooks
to
and
them and
stuff.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's-
I started looking into that, and the 3 books I wanted to read, all 3 of them were checked out, and the waiting list was like 30 people long. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna. Never mind.
Yeah, and Agamorphy says I would have had to think hard for Deke. I don't know why that stuck with. I think because Deke's just such a unique name.
I think it's because 11/22/63 is just seriously in our top 3 for both of us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So James emails in. He's the one that's been intrepidly going and catching up with things here.
Oh yeah, he
So-
finally caught up.
Not yet.
I thought he was.
No.
Oh,
I think he's targeting to maybe be caught up around October, I think is what he said last time.
okay.
So says Heil fellow gunslingers.
Heil, James.
Says I'm glad you guys are safe regarding the fires, because he did email about the fires. I'm like, no, we're all right. I'm like,
Oh,
honestly, if Peter and I were in danger, it would be like an apocalyptic thing, because we're both
Yeah.
kind of in the center of the Salt Lake Valley. Like,
yeah,
we're pretty far removed from
it's
like
city.
the wilderness.
Yeah.
And
It's-
so
It's wildfires, not a lot of them were wildfires. There were a few that got pretty close to like the outskirts of towns. No, Tad and I are in city centrals. like
yeah.
there's the nearest. Let's see, the nearest wilderness to us.
I mean, the Jordan River is like,
Oh, that's not even close. That's
but that's the
it's
closest
a
to
bike
my.
path. Like
I have seen a deer run down
along
the front of my road.
along a river. I mean, yeah, we get deer here because there's mountains.
On my road though.
Yeah.
Like coming from Redwood Road direction too.
That's not right.
I was like, I thought I had smoked something. I'm like, I looked down at my cup. I'm like, what the hell's in this?
Did I spike my own drink?
Sorry, Agmorv. Agmorv just asked which one, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because he also kind of responded to the quiz late. So I don't know if you fell behind on us,
I think
Agmorv.
he's a little delayed. Yeah.
But is that now I think he's answering the question. So yeah, I think he's a little bit behind the rest of us here. So may have lost your connection or something and got fallen behind.
We had when you were reading something at the very beginning, we were spinning for a little bit. So I don't know.
I
if
saw
that,
it spin for a second or
I don't
two,
know if
but
but it put me behind, and then I had to hit go live again. So I think
Okay.
that might have been what happened.
so
He's been here since the start. So
yeah. Yeah, and he's asking. So he is behind. So now he's asking, did he read it yet? But I'm not sure what
which one?
he's referring to there.
Yeah.
So a couple things to fill you in on. I got through the middle of the second season of Castle Rock. The actress who plays young Annie Wilkes does an amazing job with hints of Kathy Bates' performance and pretty disturbing, but amazing nonetheless. I just got to the first book club in Palaver without Peter. Oh my, what a shock. You handled it well, Tad. So I'm closing in on the end of 2023, December 3rd, and then ... So yeah.
Don't worry, it's shortly. I'm back.
I have begun reading If It Bleeds, and I so love Holly for she is such she's such a fantastic character. Finally, I did read Revival a few months ago. What a psychological trip at
Good
the end.
Lord.
I think I'm scarred for life, and he gives a little tongue winky emoji there. So I'm so scarred for life as a result, and long days and pleasant nights. So so that's the email. Agamorphy. I guess boy, the chat's gonna be behind too. Because when you're behind, doesn't the chat stay real time with the video?
I think it does.
So we can't even chat to him right now to tell him
Yeah.
that he's behind. So it's like, hey, Murphy, you're behind. There's no way for us to tell you at all.
In the future, you'll hear it.
You'll catch up to us and realize that you were behind, and we'll be like,
Yeah, if you hover over the video on the bottom left by the sound, there's a live button. If it's not red, you're not caught up.
I've been so long since I've actually done a live stream
Yeah.
on YouTube that
I
to
do.
watch
Yeah,
it.
I do it every time. So
So he struggled through some
He's doing the quiz.
It's kind of funny there. Yeah, so good with an email there. But yeah, so that's it for the episode. Pretty much hitting us. I mean, we are ending a little early in terms of time, but I think we started about 10 minutes early, so it's just about right. So because I had something else, but it's not going to be something we can jam in
Not in 10
minutes.
minutes.
So
Yeah.
but I'll just tease it though. So what I did, I was drinking the other night.
as one does.
And I don't remember what it was, but no, I think it was watching Salem's Lot, actually. So yeah, a few days ago after work, drinking, and it just hit me. I'm like, you know what? What would a Wikipedia article look like if Stephen King was real for Maine, for the state of Maine?
Oh my God.
So I used Claude. And so I typed into Claude. I'm like, Claude, pretend Stephen King is the real world. Give me a Wikipedia article for the state of Maine. And I said, but exclude any apocalyptic things. I'm like, I don't want this to stand because that would just wipe everything out. Like, you wouldn't have Wikipedia type things. So I'm like, ignore anything that's like apocalyptic. I'm like, but and dude, it gave me like a multi.
Hey, Agamorphy. Yeah, I think that fixed it.
Oh, okay. Wait, so are you able to see the chat when you're not caught up though? I thought
I don't know
because I've went and watched some of our live streams just to see like how it looked or whatever, and I've seen the chats actually pop up real time for when they like they're
no.
like
Brocky says the chat is always live.
Oh, so, is it? Weird.
Well, when you're doing a playback, it goes in time. The chat happens in time with the video.
Oh, okay.
So when you're going back and rewatching, yes, it goes like that. But when you're watching live, you can't.
The chat's live.
The chat's
live.
Okay,
I didn't know that. Okay. That is news to me.
I'm really sorry, Agamorphy. I should have remembered that, and I would have said something earlier because there was a couple times I saw things earlier that I was like, I think he's behind. But yeah, we had some spinning earlier, and I think that's what threw him behind.
Okay. Yeah. So that's just a teaser. At some point down the road, I'd love to just kind of go through and see. And of course, I know it's AI made, so whatever. I know some people get all like whatever about AI, but I'm like, you know what?
You're not making something to publish and replace an artist.
No,
that's where it's just for fun.
It's just more of like one of those things where it's just like kind of one of those like it's almost like a what if. It's like, yeah, what it look like. And I will say
that's what I actually use AI a lot for. Is I'm like I've been really big into World War II recently, watching a 20-part documentary and stuff like that. And I just remember asking ChatGPT, just like, hey, what if Hitler actually invaded England? It's a what if, I'm not doing anything with it or anything.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see what it says back to me.
And I just wanted it mostly just to share it just from the fun perspective of like what it came up with. And it is pretty fun. Like, dude, and I told it like do it fully in a Wikipedia thing. So it like has like it says like, reference like Mike Hanlon's, written journal or like it just so it actually did it like pretty real world and stuff, and it was pretty interesting for sure. But yeah, as I was watching it, because I'm like, even though the movie didn't really do, or the show we watched for Salem's Lot didn't really show that element of like vampires ate up the entire town,
right?
But that's what made me think. I'm like, God, what would a Wikipedia article look like for Maine in 2026 if everything Stephen King was actually real? And yeah, it is quite alarming. So one of these days we'll get around to it, and we'll read through that. So
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. All right, so we'll go ahead and
you'll have to post the whole thing somewhere.
Yeah, when we cover it, I'll get
after we cover it. Like, imagine if you posted that. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Indeed. All right, so on the outro stuff, if you want to subscribe to us, you can do that on any podcasting service of your choice. You can stream us on Spotify, Amazon Music, or Audible, or you can also come back over here on youtube.com/DarkTowerPalaver, watch episodes live like everyone here did today, or you can watch old live streams like I was just talking about, and the chats will come through live, which is all I've ever seen, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in a chat or I've never been in a live stream where I've fallen behind of the live to know.
Yeah.
Or if it has, it was like a Marvel reveal to where there's 100 million people in the fucking chat. You can't tell what's what anyway.
And it's just
it's like exactly. If you want to join us live, do it at youtube.com/DarkTowerPalaver. Of course, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You can find the show notes over at darktowerpalaver.com. I'll have links for all the articles we covered today. If you want to go through, if you were listening on the podcast side, you want to look at all the pictures, because there is a shitload of pictures in this episode.
There's a lot.
We had 3 or 4 articles that all had pictures, so there's a bunch of pictures for Carrie stuff. If you want to see all that, go over to darktowerpalaver.com. If you want to support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/darktowerpalaver. With the Patreon, at every level of support, you get access to our monthly hangouts, you get access to our Discord server, and at the highest level, you get the option to co-host an episode with us. We just recorded the Salem's Lot watch. I rewatched it. Peter watched it for the first time.
Yep.
The original Toby Hooper 1979 Salem's Lot. So that's the Patreon side. If you want to interact with us, Peter can let you know the ways to do that.
Best way is like James, email us, show@darktowerpalaver.com. Also, check us out on our social medias. We got threads on Instagram, Dark Tower Palaver, all one word, no spaces. Blue Sky is at darktowerpalaver.bsky.social. The Twitter is at darktowerpod. That's at darktowerpod. Facebook is facebook.com/darktowerpalaver. And our merchandise is at tpublic.com/users/darktowerpalaver.
Yes, indeed. And in the chat, let's see. Agamorphy did mention apt people is a bad one, but banning still sucks.
That's the reason for different seasons being banned, is because it's a mass shooting.
I mean,
anything with mass shootings nowadays is starting to get really scrutinized.
I still think it's nonsense.
I 100% agree with you.
We also have a decapitation in the breathing method, right?
Yeah.
It's the fourth story in that one that's
Yeah.
not been adapted yet. So I'm like, but still, it's nonsense. Yeah, books should not be banned in any,
No, they
in any
should not.
context. So
I'm
yeah.
100% on board with that. I do not agree with the banning. I think it's really stupid. Kids should be allowed to read what they want.
Yeah. And
It's up to, and the thing is, like, this is the part that I hate, is it's government overreach. It's up to the parents. I'm a parent. It's my responsibility for my kid. You don't get to decide what my kid is allowed to read.
yeah.
But the thing is like, this is just banning it in public schools, libraries.
Yeah.
This isn't banning it from the state.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be possible. But yes.
no.
All right. So yeah, that'll be it for this episode. We'll be back in a fortnight for part 2
Of
of
Wolves of the Kala.
So yeah, we're gonna go and meet up with our quartet.
I need a wolf. I need a wolf button.
a wolf howl.
I need a wolf howl button.
Yeah, so we're gonna meet up with our quartet. We haven't done that yet. We got through the prologue in episode 1. So episode 2, we will meet up with our quartet and see what's going on.
I'm feeling a little hungry right now. I wonder if there's a frog anywhere nearby.
Actually, no, don't think there's any frogs. I had a frog one time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You eaten frog?
No, I've had pet frogs.
Oh, you've had a pet frog.
Yeah. Remember that senior prank at one of our jobs where somebody released 200 frogs in the store?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Dude, I had one of the, I had that frog for like 5 years, and I finally went camping. I just went and released it into a lake somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I hope it destroys the ecosystem here.
Like fucking Simpsons.
Yeah. All right. With that, we'll sign off as we always do by saying long days and pleasant nights.
Long days and pleasant nights, folks.
Boy. All right, everyone in the chat, thank you all for joining us. And yeah, it's great. I always love having you guys chatting along with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good stuff. We'll see you guys in a fortnight for Wolves of the Call. I can't wait for diving on into that more. It would have been our inaugural last time, but the timing ended up getting screwed up. It's all right though. Now we can jump in and get really
excellent.
Get our beaks quite wet for the book. So, all right, we'll see you guys in a fortnight, unless you're joining us for Spider-Man Brand New Day on Geekery Abides.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.